The Santa Barbara Foresters have hit the road and traveled north to take on the SLO Blues for the final time this season. Hello, Hunter Shoemake welcoming you to Sinsheimer Park in San Luis Obispo, California. Well, looking back to yesterday, these two teams, the San Luis Obispo Blues and the Santa Barbara Foresters, faced off in an afternoon game down in Santa Barbara. The road team, the SLO Blues, prevailed 8-2, and Santa Barbara amassed 5 errors over the course of the 9 innings. It was a tough start for Santa Barbara yesterday as they look to bounce back against their rival here this evening in SLO. And the Sturs look to have a better start as well here this evening. Let's take a look at the starting order today for the Santa Barbara Foresters. Leading off in right field will be Caden Peterson. Batting second in center field will be Jonas Sebring. Batting third and in left, Will Rogers. In the cleanup spot, the DH, Jack Holman. TJ Pompey at short will bat fifth. In the sixth hole and at first base, Johnny Rodriguez. Batting seventh and at third, Daniel Patterson. In the eighth spot, Andrew Simo, who will do the catching. And the 9-hole hitter today will be D. Kennedy defensively at second base, with Mason Cook, the right-hander, getting the start on the hill for the Sturs. But on terms of pitching for the SLO Blues, Thomas Harper warming up on the hill. The right-hander from Illinois State gets his 5th start of the season. Enters today with a 1-1 record and a 5.5 ERA. 75 degrees and sunny here in San Luis Obispo. And here comes Caden Peterson up to the dish. The Blues are wearing their yellow tops and white bottoms, and the Sturs are wearing their blue top and gray bottoms here this evening. So Caden Peterson stands in from the right side. Peterson on the year hitting .353, back at the top spot in the order. Thomas Harper winds up the first pitch, and here it is, high fastball near the chin of Peterson. He has to duck back underneath it and stands out of the box. High fastball to kick off this ball game from Thomas Harper to Caden Peterson. So it's missing in for ball one to Caden. Peterson, Sebring, Rogers due up in this opening inning. Here's the 1-0 pitch, and Peterson sees a fastball down, this time 2-0. These two teams now meeting for the 8th time this season. And the SLO Blues lead the series 4-3 over the Sturs. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Peterson lifts it into left, into the gap, dry loose. That ball is falling quickly, but the left fielder won't come in and make the squeeze. The sand wedge out in left field to retire Caden Peterson, 1 away in the first. Caden Peterson, the flyout in the left, and that's going to bring up Jonas Sebring. So for Jonas Sebring, and the Santa Barbara Forsters in their blue tops, and Sebring always rocking the high socks, as he is today. Sebring entering today, 325 clip on the year. And for Santa Barbara entering today, 19-9, their overall CCL record. Here's the pitch. First pitch to Peterson is a changeup. Clips the outer half of the zone, 0-1. Can Santa Barbara bounce back after yesterday's ball game? The SLO Blues have won the last 3 matchups against the Sturs. Here's the 0-1, and Sebring sees another off-speed, clips the lower half of the zone, 0-2. So the leadoff man was retired. Just underway here in the first inning. Jonas Sebring batting second. Quickly down the count, 0-2, having to protect the plate. And Thomas Harper winds up the 0-2 pitch. And this is a swing and a miss. And now looking to retire Sebring at first base as the catcher, Parker Goff, goes out halfway between the plate and the hill and throws him out at first base on the drop third strike. So Sebring will strike out, 2 gone, and 2 quick outs as well for Thomas Harper to start off his outing on the hill for the SLO Blues. So 2 down, bases clear. It's going to bring up Will Rogers. Rogers, one of the many all-stars on the team for use for the Santa Barbara Foresters. Had the day off yesterday. Get the start in the 3-hole today for Bill Pintard. Thomas Harper, he's been moving quick on the hill. Here's the first pitch to Rogers, and Will sees a spiked fastball down right in front of the plate, ball 1. And for Santa Barbara, after their loss yesterday, before the start of yesterday's game, they were tied atop the CCL South with the Conejo Oaks. After dropping yesterday's ball game, the Sturs are now a half game behind Conejo in the CCL South. Here's the 1-0 pitch, and the fastball clips the corner, evens the count at 1 to Will Rogers. That's a big thing for Santa Barbara. After tonight, only 2 more games left in the regular season before they're off to Wichita, but they want to take care of business here in California in the CCL. 2 gone. Here's the 1-1 pitch, and Rogers sees a changeup down, 2-1. If Will Rogers is able to reach base, Jack Holman will be on deck for the Sturs. These 2 teams, long storied rivalry, and it continues tonight. 2-1 pitch. Rogers in the center field, sliding over as Ethan Royal to his right and into the left center gap, and will make the catch. Will Rogers will line out to the center fielder for the 3rd out of the inning. Thomas Harper, quick work of the top 3 for Santa Barbara. We go to the bottom half of the inning. Mason Cook, the right-hander for the Sturs, out to the hill when we return.
Thanks for listening. But how would you like to read about your favorite team? Hi, this is Jim Buckley, and I'm proud to announce the publication of our first book about the Foresters, Stir It Up, the story of America's most successful summer baseball team, is out now. 100% of the profits from this new book will benefit the Hugs for Cubs. You can buy one at the ballpark or online. Visit sbforesters.org for a direct link, or look us up on bookbaby.com. You can also pick up a copy locally at the Mesa Bookstore or Chaucer's or the Tecolote Bookshop. Stir It Up includes a complete history of the team from the founding by Bob Townsend in 1991 through all 10 national championships under Bill Pintard. You'll hear again from great Foresters players, read about the Hugs for Cubs, check out our all-time records, and much more. Help the Hugs and read Stir It Up. More info at sbforesters.org.
Bottom of the first inning and out to the hill for the Santa Barbara Foresters will be Mason Cook, the right-hander who recently committed to Auburn. He's played for Creighton. It's only going to be the second start and second appearance for Cook on the year. He has thrown 3 innings, no hits, no runs. He's walked 2 and struck out 6. His first appearance was on the road game last week against the Arroyo Seco Saints. Threw very well in his debut for the Santa Barbara Foresters. The lineup today for the SLO Blues, Ethan Royal will lead things off. Jake Hicksonball will bat second, batting third. Zach Tollerman in the cleanup spot will be the DH Cooper Witten. Batting fifth, Jariah Lewis. In the 6th spot, and the catcher, Parker Goff. To bat 7th, Brendan Comerford. In the 8-hole, Sam Artois. And the 9-hole hitter will be Gavin Constantine for the SLO Blues. At this time, we can take a look at the defense as well for Santa Barbara. Daniel Patterson will be at third, TJ Pompey at short, D. Kennedy at second, Johnny Rodriguez at the first station, Andrew Simo will be the catcher, Will Rogers in left, Jonas Sebring in center, and Caden Peterson out in right field for the Santa Barbara Foresters. So here comes Ethan Royal, and it was a very interesting day yesterday for the leadoff man for the Blues. Ethan Royal, in his first 5 plate appearances, reached 3 times via errors. And on those 3 errors in which he reached, he came around to score twice. That was a big story of yesterday's game. The 5 errors from Santa Barbara definitely cost them. Here's the first pitch, and Royal takes a high fastball, 0-1. Not only that, Ethan Royal put the game on ice in the 9th inning, bases clearing double to drive in 3 runs to make a 6-run lead going to the bottom of the 9th. Here's the 0-1 pitch, and fastball missing high from Mason Cook, 1-1. Very nice evening from San Luis Obispo. Light breeze blowing in towards the third base dugout out from right center field. Here's the 1-1 pitch, and Royal will see an off speed in there for strike number 2. So Mason Cook quickly ahead against the leadoff batter. Ball and 2 strikes. Jake Hicksonball will be next, and then Zach Tollerman. And Mason Cook, here's the 1-2 pitch to Royal, and Royal sees it down in the opposite batter's box. Good keep from Simo, granted no one on base, but it's 2-2. We've looked at the standings for the Sturs, now a half game out of the South, top spot in the Southern Division, but for the SLO Blues, currently in a tie for second spot in the North. Here's the 2-2 pitch, popped up in the infield. D. Kennedy, the second baseman, just a step out in the right field lawn, tracks over to his left and makes the squeeze to retire Ethan Royal. So Royal sent that one 40 feet in the air and finds the glove of the second baseman, D. Kennedy, 1 away in the first. So here's Jake Hicksonball. Jake Hicksonball entered yesterday for Max Lane in the 3-hole for the Blues after Lane was hit twice, and we saw the defensive switch for the SLO Blues, and Hicksonball takes over in the outfield today. The first pitch, the left-handed batter is in there on a fastball from Mason Cook, 0-1. And Hicksonball plays for Monterey Peninsula College. Stands in, bottom of the first, no score, 1 away, and the base is clear. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Chop this one foul down the right field line from the first base bullpen. So Jake Hicksonball quickly down the count, 0-2. Zach Tollerman will be on deck for San Luis Obispo. Quickly, Mason Cook ahead in the count. The 0-2 pitch. Hicksonball sees a high fastball. Ball and 2 strikes. A lot of real estate up the heart of the field. DJ Pompey and D. Kennedy, the shortstop and second baseman today. Yesterday we saw Drew Markle get the start at short. But here's the 1-2 pitch to now Hicksonball, and the off-speed misses away just above belt height and away to the left-handed bat of Hicksonball. That evens up the count at 2. Bottom of the first, no score. 1 away and the base is clear. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Hicksonball sees the changeup away again. That is ball 3. So Hicksonball was down in the count. Good watchful eye from the right fielder. Now 3-2 count. Zach Tollerman will be next. Mason Cook from the third base side of the rubber. The 3-2 pitch, and this ball is in there. Called strike 3. Hicksonball goes down looking. It was the off-speed pitch from Cook, and he has his first strikeout. 2 down in the opening inning. Just going to bring up Zach Tollerman, man who plays for San Jose State. And for SLO, won 2 straight games now. In their last 10, they've gone 5-5. But the big thing against Santa Barbara Foresters, they have won the last 3 contests. The SLO Blues lead the season series 4-3. First pitch now to Tollerman, and Tollerman checks the swing. It was the heater from Cook. Clips the corner of the zone, 0-1. Tollerman bats from the right side. 2 gone, bases clear. No score in the bottom of the first. The 0-1 pitch. Tollerman sees a high fastball. Evens the count at 1. Santa Barbara, their season coming to a close very quickly. 2 more games at home, Saturday and Sunday, then they're off to Wichita. Here's the 1-1 pitch. As Tollerman flares it up past the first baseman's glove, and that ball will fall into right field. That ball flared up off the bat. A bloop single in the right field evades the glove of the first baseman, Johnny Rodriguez. D. Kennedy, the second baseman, attempted to back him up, but could not cover enough ground. And as a result, it's a 2-out knock. Zach Tollerman aboard with just that flare single into right. And the line will keep on moving for Cooper Witten here in the opening inning. Tollerman now at first with 2 out. And Cooper Witten yesterday had a nice day at the plate, reached base 3 times, had a base hit, worked 2 walks, an RBI, and also a run scored. Cook has been working well, getting ahead in counts, gives up that bloop single first pitch, and a check swing, but a called strike on the fastball to Cooper Witten, 0-1. At first base, Tollerman, no attempted stolen bases on the year. That 2-out knock, just about a step lead at first base. Here's the 0-1, and swinging away is Witten. Fans on it. It's now 0-2. If Witten is able to reach base, Jariah Lewis will be on deck for the SLO Blues. Mason Cook wants to take care of this inning right here against the designated hitter, Cooper Witten. He's been slugging over 500 all CCL season. Longer hold from Cook, the 0-2 pitch, and a called strike on a high fastball in the zone. Cooper Witten goes down looking, and Mason Cook has struck out a pair here in the opening inning, and a nice fastball located high in the zone to retire Cooper Witten. Has to face 4 batters in the first. We go to the second, no score from San Luis Obispo.
During this time of record market highs and gradual economic recovery, it's essential you have someone you can trust. For 10 consecutive years, the Santa Barbara News Press Reader's Choice Poll has awarded Tremblay Financial Services recognition for the financial guidance they provide their clients. Tremblay Financial Advisors continually educate their clients with new options and financial planning tailored fit to you. For more information or an appointment, call 569-1982 or log on to tremblayfinancial.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Centaurus Financial Inc., member FINRA and SIPC, a registered investment advisor. Tremblay Financial Services and Centaurus Financial are not affiliated companies. Investing involves risk, including potential loss of principal. No investment strategy can guarantee a profit or protect against a loss in periods of declining values.
Bottoms into the second inning here in San Luis Obispo. Jack Holman, TJ Pompey, Johnny Rodriguez will be coming on up for the Santa Barbara Foresters. Thomas Harper, the right-handed pitcher, remains on the hill. He'll face the left-handed bat of Holman. First pitch, and Jack will see an off-speed pitch missing away for ball number 1. Thomas Harper only had to face top 3 batters in the opening inning and toss 10 pitches. And for Jack Holman, serving as the DH, he's been so good all season long. Here's the 1-0 offering, and Holman spits on a breaking ball. It clips the lower half of the zone, or strike number 1. No score into the second. And for Holman, you look at his slash line, 368 average, OBP of nearing 500 with the second pitch, now missing away 2-1 and slugging over 550 for Jack. He's at a 2-1 count. TJ Pompey on deck, Johnny Rodriguez to follow. Thomas Harper, big right-hander, the 2-1 pitch. Holman sees an off-speed away, 3-1. For Jack yesterday, very productive game. Finds himself in the 4-hole cleanup spot very consistently for Santa Barbara. Here's a 3-1 pitch, and Holman will see ball 4, fastball missing away. And Holman aboard our leadoff walk for the Santa Barbara Foresters, and they have their first base runner of the ball game. Jack Holman, a leadoff walk in the second. Holman now at first, and this is going to bring up TJ Pompey. Pompey came in yesterday for Jesse DiMaggio. He's up going 0 for 2 at the plate. Did not start yesterday's game. Drew Markle got the nod at short. Jesse DiMaggio was at third. Here's the first pitch to TJ. It's a high fastball, 1-0. Now Parker Goff, the catcher, will go out to the hill to talk things over with Thomas Harper. For Thomas Harper, a 6'4", 205-pound right-hander from Illinois State. You look at his numbers, he has more walks and strikeouts. Allowed 11 earned runs on the year in 18 innings pitched, 5.5 ERA. Gives up the first blemish on the scorecard, allowing the walk to Holman to kick off this inning. The first pitch missing to TJ for ball one, inducing the conversation. Here's the second pitch, and that's down in the dirt. Great grab from Parker Goff. Had a slide to his right and scooped it up and immediately on his feet, looking over at first base, holding Holman at the first station. 75 degrees here in SLO. Light breeze coming in towards the plate. It's 2-0. Here's the pitch, and Pompey will see a fastball down. That is ball three. Thomas Harper had a clean 1-2-3 inning. Struck out Jonas Sebring. He's now walked Holman here in the top of the second, and TJ Pompey has seen 3 straight balls. Here's the pitch, and that one will find the lower half of the zone. Looks like he took a little something off his fastball. 3 balls and now 1 strike to TJ Pompey. Johnny Rodriguez will be next. Holman slowly inches his way from first base. Here's a 3-1 pitch. TJ sees ball 4 high, fastball missing 2 walks to start the inning for the Santa Barbara Foresters. Holman to second, TJ now at first to bring up Johnny Rodriguez. No score, top of the second. And with no outs, an opportunity here for Santa Barbara. Looking to bounce back from yesterday's loss. And you look at yesterday's game as well, coming off to the All-Star break. You did have a lot of errors, but offensively couldn't get anything rolling. Could be a result of taking so many days off. But here's the first pitch now to Johnny, and it misses low. That is ball 1. So Pompey, Holman have reached via base on balls. Rodriguez, the first pitch was down. Here comes Dean Traynor, the manager, out of the first base dugout. Thomas Harper was solid in the first inning, only had to throw 10 pitches. He's given up 2 walks here in the second. Also, Johnny Rodriguez meets halfway down the third base line to talk with Steve Schuck, the third base coach, one of the assistant coaches for Santa Barbara. Draw up a strategy right here. Daniel Patterson will follow Johnny, but with no outs, try to advance Holman to third, TJ to second. Set up Daniel Patterson to drive in the first runs of the ball game. Looking back to yesterday for Johnny Rodriguez, had one of his better ABs all season long. He came in the 4th, had an RBI double in the left field, also had a base hit in the 8th. So nice productive day from Johnny Rodriguez yesterday. And the conversation complete by the manager and the starting pitcher, Thomas Harper. You already see a few bodies up, just stretching and milling around in that bullpen for the SLO Blues. Johnny Rodriguez batting from the left side. Here's the 1-0 pitch, and that is down. That ball was in the dirt. Parker Goff covered it up. 2-0 the count. Likely Rodriguez here. Make Thomas Harper throw a strike. Holman is at second. TJ Pompey at first. No outs, top of second inning. 2-0 pitch, and Rodriguez flares up in the left field. Looks like it's falling, and it will fall in front of the left fielder. Johnny Rodriguez, a base hit. Holman held up at third. He took a big old wide turn, rounding third base, coming home. Steve Schuck put up the stop sign. That's going to load up the bases. Johnny Rodriguez has the first hit of the ball game. A little bit of a flare single for himself in the left field to load up the bases. Holman at third, TJ Pompey at second. Bases loaded, no outs in the second inning. Huge opportunity here for Daniel Patterson. Bats out of the 7th spot today. And yesterday, Santa Barbara only amassed 2 runs on 6 hits. Trying to put up a crooked number early in this one and get off on the right foot. Patterson stands in from the right side. Bases loaded, no outs. First pitch, Patterson sees a fastball straight down the middle, 0-1. Harper, for the first time this inning, has thrown a first pitch strike. He is surrounded by Foresters with no outs. The 0-1 pitch. Patterson pops it up in the left field. It's going back, and making the catch is the shortstop. That ball left the infield, and the shortstop tracked back probably 10 paces in the left field lawn to retire Daniel Patterson. No one advances. And Patterson retired by the shortstop, 1 out. Still the bases loaded. 2 outs to play with for Andrew Simo. For Andrew Simo, he's gone 0 for 4 since coming to Santa Barbara. Joined the Stars late in the season. Here's the first pitch. Simo not shying away, picks it up and over the first base dugout and actually clears out of everything here at Sinsheimer Park. Yeah, the 5 bleacher seats, 5 rows of bleacher seats, and the big old grass berm surrounding all the bleachers here at Sinsheimer Park. Nice crowd in attendance, not as much as the firework game. But the 0-1 pitch, Simo will take strike 2. Thomas Harper delivers a fastball that clips the corner. No balls and 2 strikes. Harper couldn't buy a strike in the first 3 batters he faced. Holman, Pompey worked walks. Rodriguez, a flare single and a left, loads the bases. But now with 1 out, here's the 0-2 pitch. Simo sends it in right center field. Ethan Royal, the center fielder, slides on over into the gap and makes the catch. And tagging up from third, Holman's going to be tight at the plate. Holman slides in. They got him at the plate. Thrown out at the plate. With Simo lifting that ball, Holman tried to come home on an attempted sacrifice fly, but is thrown out at home. Parker Goff is able to slap the tag down. And that's going to be a double play to end the inning. Holman, it was very close at the plate, thrown out for the 3rd out, and the Santa Barbara Foresters had the bases loaded with no outs and could not convert. Simo had the fly out to the center fielder into the gap for the 2nd out. Holman rolled the dice, tagged up, and thrown out at home to end the inning. The Stars could not capitalize. We go to the bottom of the 2nd, still no score from Sinsheimer Park.
Need a new copier for your office? Coastal Copy is the original copier dealer in the Tri-Counties and your authorized Kyocera dealer, offering complete sales, service, and supplies on a full line of Kyocera Task Alpha digital MFPs. And thanks to the latest in Kyocera mobile and cloud technology, we offer Kyocera's mobile print app, which allows you to access documents through your smartphone or tablet. Call us today to schedule your free assessment and quote.
You'll see a difference because we go the distance.
Call 1-800-995-8835.
We're Tammy and Scott from Draftsman Ale Works here in Goleta, California.
For me, making beer is a dream come true. Seeing the community come together in our brewery is a fantastic feeling.
Community West Bank has trusted and believed in us from the very beginning.
Not only have they helped us by getting to where we are today, but they're helping us lay a path for where we want to go.
We count on them.
The community counts on Draftsman Ale Works to bring people together. We're glad they count on us. Community West Bank, member FDIC.
In the bottom of the 2nd inning, no score. Jariah Lewis, Parker Goff, Brendan Comerford coming on up for the SLO Blues. Mason Cook back out on the hill in his 2nd start of the year for the Stars. Jariah Lewis bats from the left side. Mason Cook, the right-hander, now committed to Auburn through 17 in the 1st inning. Primed and ready to go. Glove right to his face. Likes to work the quick tempo on the hill. Here's the first pitch now to Jariah Lewis. And Lewis fouls it directly back into the screen behind the dish, 0-1. Top half of the 2nd inning, the Santa Barbara Foresters, bases loaded, no outs, could not convert. Still no score, bottom of the 2nd. Jariah Lewis, here's the 0-1 pitch, and this one hit pretty well into right field. Caden Peterson has to slide over laterally to his left and makes the squeeze. Travers about 10 steps to his left, and Jariah Lewis on the 2nd pitch flies out to the right fielder, Caden Peterson, 1 away in the 2nd. And when we look back to the top half of this inning, Santa Barbara, depending on the result, might circle the top half of that 2nd inning. An obvious blown chance to put up not just 1 run, 2 runs, a lot of runs. Able to bail out Thomas Harper. Some good defense from the SLO Blues to put up a 0 in the top half of this inning. But here's Parker Goff, who stands in for the first time. First pitch, and Goff swinging away at a fastball. He fans on it for strike number 1. One away and the base is clear. Parker Goff, the catcher today for the Blues, plays for BYU. The infield and outfield straight away here at Sinsheimer Park. The 0-1 pitch, and Goff sees fastball down, evens the count at 1. Santa Barbara Foresters hit the road for the final time of the regular season, traveling up north to San Luis Obispo. Of course, the long trip to Kansas to Wichita. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Goff sees an off-speed pitch down in the dirt. It's ball 2. Parker Goff stands in. Brendan Comerford will be next. In front of a nice crowd here. It's filled in since the first inning. Sinsheimer Park. 2-1 pitch, and Goff will foul it back just to the right of home plate, halfway up the big old screen that surrounds the playing surface. 2-2. Mason Cook gave up a bloop single in the opening inning. Struck out 2. Both of them actually looking in the opening inning. What does he go to right here? Here's the 2-2 pitch to Parker Goff, and Goff fouls back a fastball. We'll do it again. You look at the positioning of Sinsheimer Park. You see the sun setting to our right. You see some shadows being extended into the infield, some trees to our right. Encroaching now on the infield fair territory on the first base side of the field. With 1 out, here's the 2-2 pitch. Parker Goff check swing. That ball is actually fair down the third base line. Patterson charges in. He can't get there from third base. A check swing base hit by Parker Goff. Tried to lay off the fastball. Just dribbled down halfway down the third base line. Patterson, who was playing back at third base, tries to come on in, but no chance. And as a result, Parker Goff, a checked base hit down that the third base line to put him at first with 1 out here in the bottom of the second. So Goff now aboard, and it's going to be Brendan Comerford to stand in. Some heavy signals being flashed down from the third base coach's box. So unfortunate there for Mason Cook. And when you look at the surface here, the infield grass, very long. You saw that baseball immediately put the brakes on. The first pitch now to Comerford. Cook a little bit of a longer hold. Here's the pitch, and Comerford sees a slider in there for a strike, 0-1. Even when the infielders taking fungos before the game, even if the ball's well hit, that first hop in the infield grass definitely slows it down. The 0-1 pitch, and Comerford sees another slider. This time it misses away, 1-1. So Parker Goff, the check swing down that third base line, good for a base hit. He inches away slowly at first base with 1 away. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Comerford sees a fastball high and in, 2-1. To follow Comerford will be Sam Ardois. And for the SLO Blues, riding high after getting out of that jam. Bases loaded, no outs in the second, I should say the top half of the second inning. Here's the 2-1 pitch, swinging a miss on the fastballs. Comerford, 2-2. Comerford, Malone College, where he plays his collegiate baseball, batting at the 7th spot today. The man at first, 1 out. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Comerford will strike out, swinging away at the fastball. Fans on it. 2nd out of the inning. 3rd K of the day for Mason Cook. Parker Goff remains at first base, but now 2 gone. No score in the bottom of the second. Here's Sam Ardois, another right-handed bat for the SLO Blues. And for SLO, entering today, 14-13, their CCL record tied 2nd in the CCL North with Sonoma. Here's the first pitch to Sam Ardois, and Ardois sees a fastball high, ball 1. Cook strikes out the last man. Ardois at the 8th spot, plays for Louisiana Lafayette. Man at first, 2 gone. Mason Cook, the 1-0 pitch, and the fastball misses away. That is ball 2. When you look at the season series between these two teams, Santa Barbara played their first road game here at Sinsheimer Park, and they're playing their last. They won on their first occasion, coming up to SLO, trying to do the same here this evening. 2-0 pitch. This ball's turned on. She flared out towards right field. Caden Peterson tries to move in, and the second baseman tries to get there, but it falls in front of D. Kennedy. The runners will advance both into scoring position. D. Kennedy, the second baseman, tried to lay out right down the right field line, tracking all the way back halfway in the outfield grass from second, made a diving attempt to snare that ball. Caden Peterson really had no play at it. A late jump from right field. It will fall. Almost a similar play to Zach Tollerman in the first inning. Flared up baseball, not hit particularly hard, and Ardois will advance all the way to second base, 2 in scoring position. Go down as a double for Sam Ardois on a ball that was not hit hard at all to put 2 aboard in scoring position with 2 outs. Here's Gavin Constantine out of the 9 spot. First pitch, Constantine swinging away, missing the fastball, 0-1. That ball just lifted over Johnny Rodriguez, and D. Kennedy did a heck of an effort at second trying to get there. Tried to make the spectacular catch, could not get it. Caden Peterson right, no chance. 2 in scoring position. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Constantine chops it over to TJ Pompey at short. Pompey fields it cleanly and throws it in time to Johnny Rodriguez at first to retire the side. So Santa Barbara, they get out of the jam unscathed as we head to the third. No score between SLO and Santa Barbara.
It's out of here. It's tough to tell whether that's another Foresters home run or one of the many flights going out of the Santa Barbara airport. With 22 daily departures and 11 direct destinations, including Chicago, Dallas, Las Vegas, San Diego, and Seattle, there's no need to drive and fly when you can take off local at the Santa Barbara airport. Prepare for a departure from the usual travel experience. Choose SBA and depart differently. A proud partner of the Santa Barbara Foresters.
When it comes to your office equipment needs, call Coastal Copy. We're the largest independent office equipment dealership in the Tri-Counties, and as your locally owned authorized Savin dealer, Coastal Copy offers complete sales, service, and supplies on a full line of Savin digital copiers and MFPs, Savin color printers, digital duplicators, Savin wide format systems, digital presses, document management solutions, and more. That's Coastal Copy.
You'll see a difference because we go the distance.
Call 1-800-995-8835.
Third inning from San Luis Obispo. D. Kennedy, Caden Peterson, Jonas Sebring will be coming on up for the Santa Barbara Foresters. Thomas Harper, through the first 2, has thrown 28 pitches. The starter for the SLO Blues. 9-1-2. D. Kennedy will stand in for the first time. Bats from the right side. No score from Sinsheimer Park. It's cooling off very nicely here in SLO. First pitch, and D will see a fastball down. Ball 1. Santa Barbara having one of the best opportunities you could ever ask for in baseball. Bases loaded, nobody out. Could not bring home a run in the last. 1-0 pitch, and D. Kennedy will take a fastball that clips the inside corner for a strike, 1-1. Andrew Simo lifted the ball in the center field, and Holman was thrown out at the plate to turn the double play. The 1-1 pitch, half-hearted swing through the zone for D. Kennedy, trying to lay off the slider. It is strike 2 to D. Kennedy. Harper, who found life out on the hill after walking the first 2 to start the last inning. Here's the 1-2 pitch. D. Kennedy sees it down the dirt. Took a wild deflection towards the third base dugout, but it's now 2-2. For D. Kennedy, saw him get the start yesterday at second base. Went 0 for 2. He was also hit in that ball game. Here's the 2-2 pitch, and the leadoff man sees ball 3 in. It's a fastball that missed from Harper. Full count. Top of the order will be on deck. Thomas Harper, to start the last inning, couldn't find the strike zone. Here's the 3-2 pitch, and D. Kennedy pops up and over our heads in the press box. Out of the entire stadium, we'll do it again. And a nice crowd continuing to fill in. Some bleacher seats still open when we were last here on July 3rd, the firework night for the SLO Blues. Around 2,300 people all crammed in here in attendance at Sinsheimer Park. But the leadoff man, D. Kennedy, at a 3-2 count. Here's the pitch, and Kennedy will send it back into the screen just to the right of the plate. We'll do it again. D. Kennedy continuing the battle here. The leadoff man for Santa Barbara. Caden Peterson will be on deck. Here's the 3-2 pitch, and Kennedy sees a high fastball. That is ball 4, and the Stars have their leadoff man aboard. Third walk given up today by Thomas Harper. Just like the last inning, a leadoff walk for Santa Barbara. Especially with D. Kennedy, a very good runner out of the 9 spot to turn over the lineup for Caden Peterson. Second look for Caden at Thomas Harper. Right on right matchup right here. First pitch, and Peterson will take a fastball right down the middle. 0-1. Top of the third, no score. D. Kennedy has a leadoff walk now at first. Peterson has a fly out to left so far today. Trying to advance Kennedy into scoring position. D slowly inches out from first base. Check back to him. Big old plume of smoke. The infield dirt. Seen that consistently through the season. Every time we play up here at Sinsheimer Park. Any sliding base plays. Big old plume of smoke kicks up from the dirt. Here's the 0-1, and Peterson checks swing. He'll take a strike. The off-speed pitch drops in nicely from Harper. He's quickly ahead. 0-2 against Caden. Yesterday, the Santa Barbara Foresters only had 1 attempted stolen base, believe it or not. We've seen them steal bases left and right. Only 1 yesterday. D is at first with no outs. Here's the 0-2 pitch, and Peterson sees a fastball in. 1-2. Entire staff for the Santa Barbara Foresters were talking about what the team would end up, how many stolen base attempts they would have come the end of the regular season. But with only 1 being yesterday, currently at 103 attempted stolen bases. Check back to D. Kennedy at first base. He's in head first, no problem. Remains 1-2 for Caden Peterson. The lone stolen base yesterday went to Caden, went in the 6th inning. Here's the 1-2 pitch, and Peterson chops it over to the mound. It's actually back to the pitcher. Looked like it was going to short, but he'll be thrown out at first base. Sam Ardois, the shortstop, was moving in behind the pitcher, but Thomas Harper off the 1 hop in front of the hill, gloves it, and throws out Caden Peterson at first base, but D. Kennedy does advance to second, so a productive out for Caden as he grounds out 1-3 for the first out of the inning. Off the bat, it looked like might be a double play being turned, but that ball not hit hard enough. As a result, Peterson retired. Kennedy now at second to bring up Jonah Sebring. Stars have another base runner in scoring position. Here's the first pitch to Jonah, and Jonah swing and a miss. Strike number 1. Fastball from Harper. Sebring struck out in the opening inning. Saw Jonah once yesterday. Pinch hit, did not come into play the rest of the ball game in the 7th. The 0-1 pitch, and Jonah sees a slider that's in there for strike 2, and quickly, Jonah does not like the call. Looking back to that third base dugout, 0-2 for Jonah Sebring. Kennedy now at second. Second baseman Brendan Comerford keeping a watchful eye at him. Here's the 0-2 pitch, and Sebring just sees a fastball missing the zone. Not missed by much, 1-2. The Stars had that beautiful opportunity in the last inning to capitalize. They could not. Can they capitalize right here in the 3rd? Runner at second, 1 out. 1-2 pitch. Jonah sees a fastball away. Good slide to the right from Parker Goff, the catcher, keeping D. Kennedy at second base. Will Rogers scheduled next to follow Jonah Sebring. 2-2 the count for Sebring batting out of the 2 hole today. Here's the pitch, and Jonah lifts it into center. It's cutting off the bat, and Ethan Royal has to track back, and Royal lays out, is able to make the catch in right center field. No, that ball falls, says the bases umpire. D. Kennedy holds up at third base. Looked like the crowd thought Ethan Royal made that catch, but it comes in and out of his glove, and Jonah Sebring will get to second base. D. Kennedy held up at third, and Ethan Royal caught that ball, or nearly caught that ball, just in front of the warning track. The center fielder had to track into the gap and laid out Superman style right towards the wall. It looked like initially he made the catch, but the bases umpire saying no, he did not make the catch. Sebring, as a result, a double to put two in scoring position, only a single out here in the third. And Santa Barbara attempting to put up the first runs of the ball game. So here's Will Rogers. Sturs have two in scoring position. Will driving the first run. First pitch, check swing, nearly hit his hands, but it goes foul towards the first base dugout. Strike one. A lot of base runners already in this ball game. The Sturs already had 5 as Rogers looks to drive in the first runs of the game. No score in the top of the third. Only one out. 0-1 pitch. Rogers slices it down the right field line. It will go foul. That is strike 2. Rogers a line out into center to start off his day at the dish. From what we hear from Ryan Kramer, Will Rogers being shut down in terms of pitching the rest of the year. He's been so good in that department, entering games late, on the hill, save situations. But now, the rest of the summer, he will just be an offensive threat, being shut down in terms of pitching to save his arm. But he is batting third today and in left field, trying to drive in D. Kennedy and Jonah Sebring at third and second base. He has to protect the plate now with one out. It's 0-2. Here's the pitch. Rogers sees a fastball away, 1-2. Santa Barbara in the last 2 innings, Holman, Pompey, Rodriguez all reached base to start off the second, could not drive any of them in. But Jonas Sebring, a deep ball in right center field to give Santa Barbara a chance here in the third. 1-2 pitch to Will Rogers. Rogers fouls it back just to the right of the dish and the screen. It remains a ball and 2 strikes. And the shadows from the trees to our right continuing to encroach on the playing surface. The top of the treetops just inching out towards the hill from the right side. The sun setting to our right here in slow. Rogers still needing to protect the plate. 2 in scoring position, only a single out. 1-2 pitch. Rogers sends it down the right field line, but that ball is cutting. Going the other way with it. Remains 1-2. This will be the 6th pitch of the at-bat to Will Rogers. Thomas Harper, thanks to his defense, got out of that jam unscathed. The bases were loaded in the second. Now in the top of the third, no score. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Rogers sees a fastball down. A great backhand from Parker Goff. The catcher picks that ball in the other batter's box. Keep the runners at bay. It's 2-2 for Will. Jack Holman will be on deck. Rogers batting from the right side. He's been battling the 2-2 pitch. Rogers sprays it over the first base dugout. Eye-towering slicing baseball out of the entire facility here at Sinsheimer. It remains 2-2. This will be the 8th pitch now to Will. As he stands in, driving up the pitch count for Thomas Harper. D. Kennedy at third, Jonas Sebring at second, 1 out. No score currently. 2-2 pitch. Will Rogers, this one's up the middle, back to the pitcher. D. Kennedy will held up at third base, and Will Rogers will be thrown out at first. That ball was a rocket. It took one hop and fantastic reflexes from Thomas Harper on the hill, able to snare that baseball. If he didn't get a piece of it, 2 runs would have scored, would have been a base hit into center field. Sebring, who has good speed, would likely have been able to score. But Thomas Harper reflexes on the hill, prevents a run from coming in to score, and robs Will Rogers of a base hit. And both outs in this inning have gone 1-3, ground outs back to the hill. So that's a little bit more than a ground out off the bat of Will Rogers. But now stands Jack Holman, bats from the left side, 2 gone. First pitch to Jack, and that's down in the dirt, ball 1. Holman worked a lead-off walk in the second. Jonas Sebring had a double. At second, D. Kenny had a lead-off walk, and Santa Barbara converts. No score. Here's the 1-0, and the 1-0 pitch misses down and it was off speed from Harper. Ball 2. Time being called, and they're just going to put Holman aboard. They threw 2 pitches, but they're just going to send him to first base. So now intentionally walking Jack Holman after throwing 2 pitches to him that clearly missed the zone, not wanting to have any part of Holman slugging nearly 600 on the year. It's going to bring up TJ Pompey. Bases now loaded, however, for Santa Barbara. For the second consecutive inning, the bags loaded up by the Santa Barbara Foresters. First pitch to TJ Pompey. The fastball will miss into the right-handed bat of TJ, 1-0. Holman now at first, Sebring second, Kennedy at third. Can Santa Barbara capitalize? No runs in currently. The 1-0 pitch to TJ. Big ol' cut. 1-1. Fans on the fastball to even up the count. TJ worked a walk in the last. By the way, bottom half of this order, the top of the order will be coming up for the SLO Blues to face Mason Cook. Here's the 1-1 pitch to TJ, and Pompey chasing that slider, 1-2, swinging away. Now having to protect the plate. Thomas Harper pull a Houdini for the second consecutive inning. Santa Barbara doing everything they can not to allow that to happen, to push in the first runs of the game. Bases loaded, 2 gone, the 1-2 pitch. Pompey up the middle. This ball will fall in front of the center fielder. 1 run in. Sebring looks to score from second base. A throw, and it's a good one. Sebring slides in head first. 2 RBI single for TJ Pompey, and Santa Barbara now lead 2-0 in the third. TJ Pompey, clutch hit down in the count, sends it right back up the heart of the field to drive in the first 2 runs of the ballgame. Sebring slid in from second base to score the second run, while D. Kennedy came in from third to plate the first run of the ballgame. Sturs now lead 2-0. Holman, who was intentionally walked, now at second. TJ now reaching for the second time today at first. This brings up Johnny Rodriguez. 2 gone. First pitch to Johnny. Fastball miss into the left-handed batter. 1-0. Rodriguez had a base hit in the left in the last inning. Now the Sturs are able to capitalize with the bases loaded. Driving in a pair. 1-0 pitch. Rodriguez sees a fastball away. Ball 2. D. Kennedy and Jonas Sebring have both scored. Thomas Harper, who struggled this part of the order in the last inning, giving up a hit. 2 hits and a walk. Here's a 2-0 pitch down the first base line. A rocket on the ground, but well foul. Or strike number 1 to Johnny Rodriguez. TJ Pompey, clutch stuff coming at the dish. And Pompey didn't even start yesterday. When he did enter, went 0 for 2, a pair of strikeouts. Big time stuff from TJ. 2 aboard still with 2 gone. Man at second, man at first. Here's a 2-1 pitch. This one is flared up towards the shortstop, and the shortstop tracks back just a few steps, and Sam Ardois will make the catch at short to retire Johnny Rodriguez in the third. Santa Barbara capitalized with the bases loaded, bring home pair. Thanks to TJ Pompey, base hit up the middle of the field. Santa Barbara now lead 2-0 going to the bottom of the third. Santa Barbara Airport has 5 airlines: American, Alaska, Delta Air, Southwest, and United, with 12 direct destinations from Santa Barbara to Atlanta, Dallas, Denver, Las Vegas, Oakland, Los Angeles, Salt Lake City, Portland, San Francisco, Phoenix, Seattle, and Sacramento, with 23 daily departures from Santa Barbara SBA's newest daily service on Delta Airlines to Atlanta and Salt Lake City can ensure that you can get anywhere in the world in just one stop. SBA is proud to join over 200 airports around the world in the Hidden Disabilities Sunflower Program. Passengers with a disability can opt into the program, and in doing so, trained staff at SBA will be there to provide additional level of customer service. You can learn more at www.flysba.com. Once again, you can learn more and book your flights today from Santa Barbara at www.flysba.com.
I'm Eric Anand, CEO and Managing Director of Santa Barbara Airbus. Santa Barbara Airbus is all about the customer experience. Having your customers count on you. It's because people recognize that you're there when you need them. One of the early challenges for our business was equipment financing. Community West Bank has always found a way for the terms and conditions to work for us and for them. I count on Community West Bank.
The community counts on Santa Barbara Airbus to keep them moving. We're glad they count on us. Community West Bank, member FDIC.
Bottom of the third inning from San Luis Obispo. Top of the order coming up for the Blues, Ethan Royal, Jake Hicksonball, Zach Tollerman. For the SLO Blues, Mason Cook remains on the hill, the starter for the Santa Barbara Foresters. Stars are able to capitalize. Top half of this inning now lead 2-0 over San Luis Obispo. Royal in the top spot of the order had to pop up to the second baseman, D. Kennedy, in the first. Here's the first pitch, and Royal sees a slider in there for strike number one. Good pitch from Mason Cook. Played for Creighton. Now be attending Auburn come the fall. The 0-1 pitch, and Royal reaches for it. It's a fastball that time, 0-2. SLO Blues tied for second position in the CCL North at 14-13. But their leadoff man behind in the count, the 0-2 pitch. Royal sends it up towards the second baseman. D. Kinney can't get there. That ball into right field. Another hit for the SLO Blues, not hit hard. Just popped up over the infield and falls in front of the outfielders, or a leadoff single for Ethan Royal. When you look at the hits so far today, yeah, that check swing base hit in the last. The double for Sam Ardois was just lifted up over the infield. Other than that checked single on that third base line, the three other hits, all coming in similar fashion, just flared up over the infield. Is now a bunt laid down by Jake Hicksonball, goes foul. Strike one. Trying to play some small ball for the SLO Blues. Hicksonball bats from the left side. Showed bunt. Tried to push it down the left field, the third baseline. Unsuccessfully. And at first, no outs. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Hicksonball on the fastball fouls it back directly behind home plate. 0-2. In terms of pitching today, through the first two innings, 35 pitches for Mason Cook. Gave up the base hit to start off the inning. Ty Zarodnik, Shea Wint, Jake Fields likely candidates. Add the bullpen early in the game. Zarodnik, a lefty with Went and Fields. Throw from the right-handers. But it's 0-2 to the Hicksonball, man at first, no outs. And Mason Cook, here's the 0-2 pitch, and this ball is into center field. Sebring was a good jump, but it falls in front of him. Another non-hit hard ball that just falls in front of the outfielders for a consecutive single to start off this inning. Ethan Royal now to second, and Hicksonball now reaches with that ball in the right center field. Really no play for Jonah Sebring. We've said it all season long. Jonah, one of the best outfielders for Santa Barbara, makes incredible reads in the outfield. Couldn't do anything there. That ball quickly falling. So 2 hits to start off the third for the SLO Blues as they now trail by 2. Here's Zach Tollerman. Bats from the right side, first pitch, and Tollerman sees a fastball away, 1-0. Royal at second, Hicksonball at first. Of the 5 hits, 4 of them not hit hard at all. No balls barreled up so far, the 1-0. Tollerman sees it down, ball 2. Slider from Cook missing. Here comes Andrew Simo, the catcher, out to have a word on the hill with the starter. Ryan Kramer did say before the ball game Wouldn't be surprised to see Ty Zarodnik, the first man out of the bullpen, the left-handed pitcher, the lone lefty, available today. But it's all situational. Trying to put together a ball game in terms of pitchers, especially a little bit taxed on that end, especially in the back end for the bullpen for the Santa Barbara Foresters. Having to move guys around, shuffle roles. But here in the bottom of the third, Santa Barbara lead by 2. 2 men aboard and no outs for the Blues. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Finds the strike zone to Zach Tollerman as a fastball. Now 2-1. Santa Barbara trying to maintain this lead that they just picked up. Tollerman already has a base hit. Flared it up over the head of D. Kennedy first time around. 2-1 pitch, and it will miss down and away. Smothered up by Simo. That is ball 3. Cooper Witten, the cleanup man, the DH, stands on deck. Do not want to face him with the bases loaded and no outs. It's 3-1, third base open. Here's the pitch, and this one is chopped over too short. TJ Pompey fields it. There's one at second base, and it will be a double play, a 6-4-3 to get 2 outs on the scoreboard and 2 critical outs as well. Ethan Royal does advance from second to third base. Hicksonbaugh, a force-out victim at second or the first out, and Tollerman grounds into the 6-4-3 double play. TJ Pompey to D. Kennedy to Johnny Rodriguez to complete the sequence. But a man now at third to bring up the DH. And Cooper Witten slugging .526. Great stuff by the infield to turn the double play. Try to get out of this inning with a 2-run lead. First pitch now to Witten, and Witten fouls it back directly behind the plate, not shying away. 0-1. Witten struck out looking in the opening inning against Mason Cook. Cook trying to work around 2 leadoff singles. Now 2 gone. The man is at third. And Cooper Witten, who bats from the right side. Here's the 0-1 pitch, and Witten on the ground left side. Here's Daniel Patterson, third baseman, scoops up. Double pumps it a few times in the throw to Rodriguez. Will be in time. Cooper Witten grounds out 5-3, and the SLO Blues cannot convert on their 2 base hits to start off the inning. Well done by Mason Cook and the Sturs. We head to the 4th. Santa Barbara lead 2-0.
Thanks for listening. But how would you like to read about your favorite team? Hi, this is Jim Buckley, and I'm proud to announce the publication of our first book about the Foresters, Stir It Up, the story of America's most successful summer baseball team, is out now. 100% of the profits from this new book will benefit the Hugs for Cubs. You can buy one at the ballpark or online. Visit sbforesters.org for a direct link, or look us up on bookbaby.com. You can also pick up a copy locally at the Mesa Bookstore or Chaucer's or the Tecolote Bookshop. Stir It Up includes a complete history of the team from the founding by Bob Townsend in 1991 through all 10 national championships under Bill Pintard. You'll hear again from great Foresters players, read about the Hugs for Cubs, check out our all-time records, and much more. Help the Hugs and read Stir It Up. More info at sbforesters.org.
Need a new copier for your office? Coastal Copy is the original copier dealer in the Tri-Counties and your authorized Kyocera dealer, offering complete sales, service, and supplies on a full line of Kyocera Task Alpha digital MFPs. And thanks to the latest in Kyocera mobile and cloud technology, we offer Kyocera's mobile print app, which allows you to access documents through your smartphone or tablet. Call us today to schedule your free assessment and quote.
You'll see a difference because we go the distance.
Call 1-800-995-8835.
In the 4th inning from Sinsheimer Park in San Luis Obispo, California. Bottom of the order coming on up for the Santa Barbara Foresters, Daniel Patterson, Andrew Simo, and D. Kennedy. The Santa Barbara Foresters put up 2 runs in the last inning to take a 2-0 lead over the rivals, the Blues. Patterson will stand in. Thomas Harper, the starting pitcher, remains on the hill for the Blues. First pitch to Daniel, and Patterson swings and just taps off the end of the bat, rolls it back in the backstop for strike number 1. Patterson has a pop-up to the shortstop, which occurred in the 2nd inning. Santa Barbara trying to tie up the season series against the SLO Blues. 7 games played, and the Blues have won 4 of them. Here's the 0-1, fastball missing up 1-1. After tonight, Santa Barbara only 2 more games left in their regular season slate. Believe it or not, it's coming to a close quickly. The 1-1 pitch, and Patterson pops it up just on top of our heads here in the press box. Strike 2. Simo will fall, and then D. Kennedy here in the 4th for the Sturs. Shadows getting a little bit longer from Sinsheimer Park. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Patterson lifts it in right field. It's falling quickly, and the right fielder tries to move in. Can't make the catch. It falls in front of Hicksonball. Patterson will get to second base, and Jake Hicksonball, the right fielder, tried to judge that baseball and fell right in front of him and ended up being kicked out behind him. And when that ball rolled underneath his feet and behind Hicksonball in right field, Daniel Patterson was able to get to second base, so the leadoff man aboard and now at second base for the Santa Barbara Foresters. So you have to wait how this is scored by the official score here in the SLO San Luis Obispo. But regardless, Daniel Patterson, the leadoff man, is at second base, and the Santa Barbara Foresters are looking for more runs. Here's Andrew Simo, the first pitch, and Andrew will take a fastball that clips the lower corner, 0-1. Patterson aboard for the first time today. Able to get to second base. And Simo had the fly out to center. First time up, sees the 0-1 pitch, and this one's on the ground right side, and that ball will get through into right field for a base hit. Patterson from second base looks to score. It's going to be tight at the plate. Patterson slides in, safe. Patterson from second base motors his way all the way around third. Big old dust cloud at the dish. Patterson able to evade the tag from Parker Goff. So it'll be an RBI single by Andrew Simo. Scores Daniel Patterson. It is now a 3-0 ball game. Great work from Simo. That ball didn't even look like it got off the ground, off the barrel of Andrew. Just motored its way past the first and second baseman into right field for a base hit. Scores Patterson. Now D. Kennedy will stand in. No outs here in the top of the 4th. First pitch to D. Kennedy looks to bunt. This one's down the first baseline. It's a very good bunt. The pitcher comes all the way out. Underhand flips it, and the throw, I should say the toss, will be in time to D. Kennedy. Very tight down that first baseline, but it will be a sacrifice for D. Kennedy. Does his job. Nearly beat it out after it was placed perfectly between first base side, the infield. The pitcher came all the way off the hill, fielded that baseball, but Kennedy is retired for the first out. He advances Andrew Simo into second base. So another man in scoring position, already a run in, 3-0 our score. Here's Caden Peterson, the first pitch. Misses down and away, ball 1. So for Peterson, his third look at Thomas Harper. Andrew Simo is at second base after picking up his first hit as a Forester just a few moments ago. 1-0 pitch to Caden. Off-speed pitch in there for a strike, 1-1. Caden Peterson 0 for 2 to start off the day. He's at a 1-1 count. Thomas Harper, 1-1 pitch, and Peterson sees a slider that clips the corner, 1-2. We see arms up in the bullpen for the SLO Blues. Thomas Harper through the first 3 innings through 62 pitches has faced 3 batters so far in this inning, only a single out. 3-0 our score, the 1-2 pitch to Peterson, and the fastball misses in, evens up the count at 2. Jonas Sebring will be next for the Santa Barbara Foresters. They now lead 3-0. Andrew Simo drove in the 3rd run of the day, scored Patterson. Here's the 2-2 pitch, and Peterson sprays it over the first base dugout. Out of the entire complex, it remains 2-2. Simo, get to see him pick up his first hit of the summer. Now it's second. Remains 2-2. Here's the pitch to Caden, and Peterson sees a fastball missing high. That is ball 3, full count. Sebring will be next for the Santa Barbara Foresters. Patterson, the leadoff man who reached base. For now, looks like it went down as a double for Patterson. But here's the payoff pitch, and it's down in the dirt. That is ball 4, and advancing on the air and pitch to third base is Andrew Simo. That ball was down in the dirt. The breaking ball from Harper missed. Parker Goff bounced off his chest and rolled a few paces in front of the plate, allowing Simo to advance to third. It will be a walk to Caden Peterson, as it was ball 4 down in the dirt. He will reach for the first time today. Runners on the corners, only a single out for Jonah Sebring. Sebring had a double in the right center field in the third. Trying to drive in some more runs. Top of the fourth, Sturs lead 3-0. First pitch, and Jonah sees a fastball right down the chute. 0-1. Turning into a very nice evening here in SLO. In front of a nice crowd on a Friday evening from San Luis Obispo. Runners on the corners. Maybe a false start. Now caught in a rundown. Caden Peterson between first and second base. He took off, put on the brakes. Now caught in a rundown. Still trying to evade the tag. He is finally tagged out. Looks like it's the pitcher who applies the tag. Looked like it went 3-4-1 on the putout for Caden Peterson on the rundown. But Peterson, who worked the walk, took off early. Was unsure when the pitch was being thrown. Kind of had a stutter step. Couldn't get back to first base and was caught in the rundown. So that will be the second out of the inning. But still a man at third base is Andrew Simo. It's 0-1. For Jonah Sebring, here's the pitch, and that one gets away from the catcher. Holding at third base is Simo. It went to the first base side of the park. Off the chest protector of the catcher, Parker Goff. He did well to scamp over, pick up that ball, and keep Simo at third. So now Peterson caught in the rundown for the second out. Simo remains at third. It is still a 3-0 ball game. Sturs lead. It's 1-1 the count for Jonah Sebring. Here's the pitch, and Jonah will see a fastball for a strike. 1-2. Santa Barbara have pushed in a run. Can they push in one more? Sebring already has a double today. He scored a run, but can he bring home a run? He has to protect the plate. A lot of real estate up the middle of the field. Here's the 1-2 pitch, and Jonah, swing and a miss. Picked up by Goff as he trots on the first baseline, and Sebring is retired at first. He will strike out, stranding Andrew Simo at third. But the Sturs do bring in one more. We go to the bottom of the fourth. Santa Barbara lead 3-0 over the SLO Blues.
During this time of record market highs and gradual economic recovery, it's essential you have someone you can trust. For 10 consecutive years, the Santa Barbara News Press Reader's Choice Poll has awarded Tremblay Financial Services recognition for the financial guidance they provide their clients. Tremblay Financial Advisors continually educate their clients with new options and financial planning tailored fit to you. For more information or an appointment, call 569-1982 or log on to tremblayfinancial.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Centaurus Financial Inc., member FINRA and SIPC, a registered investment advisor. Tremblay Financial Services and Centaurus Financial are not affiliated companies. Investing involves risk, including potential loss of principal. No investment strategy can guarantee a profit or protect against a loss in periods of declining values.
Bottom of the fourth, Santa Barbara now lead 3-0 over the SLO Blues. Jariah Lewis will lead things off, and Mason Cook, the starter, remains on the hill for the Santa Barbara Foresters. It's going to be 5, 6, and 7 coming on up. Here's the first pitch to Jariah Lewis, and it's in there for strike number 1. Looks like the fastball from Cook to start off this AB against Jariah Lewis. It's a second look for Jariah at Mason Cook today. Here's the 0-1 pitch. And Lewis foul tips it back in the glove of Simo. Another heater, 0-2 to the leadoff man. You look at what the SLO Blues have done today. They've collected a lot of base hits, just flared up loop singles, however you want to put it. Not hard hit balls, just evading the infielders, typically over their heads, and it just falls. Here's the 0-2 pitch. That's down in the dirt on the fastball from Mason Cook. Ball and 2 strikes. For the SLO Blues, they've won the last 3 matchups against the Santa Barbara Foresters. They still have 6 more games to play after today. Their regular season will end on the 27th. The leadoff man needs to protect the plate. Here's the 1-2 pitch, and Lewis, he's off speed down. That's 2-2. But the CCL North, Walnut Creek still atop the standings. Sonoma and SLO right behind them. Here's the 2-2 pitch, and Jariah Lewis sees a fastball away. Full count. Looks like in the bullpen we do see Ty Zarodnik slowly getting ready down that left field bullpen. Here's the payoff pitch to the leadoff man, and Lewis pops up in a towering foul ball over the third base dugout. Means 3-2. Mason Cook threw 3 innings in his debut last week against Arroyo Seco. Back out for the 4th inning here. 3-2 pitch, and that fastball will miss away. Did not miss by much, and Jariah Lewis, who was down in the count, ends up working a lead-off walk. First walk given up by Mason Cook today. Prior to that walk, only 5 other men have reached base. All not hit hard singles. But here's Parker Goff, who had a check swing, ended up dribbling a ball down the third base line. It was good for a base hit. Stand in for the second time. The Santa Barbara Foresters lead 3-0, bottom of the 4th. Man at first, nobody out. First pitch now to Goff, and Goff just grazes that ball and goes back in the glove of Simo. It was a heater from Mason Cook. 0-1. We saw the Stars turn a double play in the 3rd. Didn't feel that good double play depth. Cook holds. The 0-1 pitch. Where goes the runner? Simo, it's a good throw down to the second baseman. Did they get him? No. It was a very good throw, and D. Kennedy was the recipient of that baseball. Very close. D. Kennedy slapped the tag down, but not in time. So a stolen bag for Jariah Lewis, his 9th of the season. Couldn't have done better for Andrew Simo, the catcher, on the throw. It's now a 1-1 count for Parker Goff. Now a man in scoring position, nobody out. 1-1 pitch. There goes the runner to third base. Simo fields it, and the throw will be wide, pulling Patterson towards the third base dugout. So now 2 stolen bags for Jariah Lewis. He's stolen himself all the way to third base. Now Parker Goff trying to bring in the first run of the day for the SLO Blues. 2-1 the count. But Jariah Lewis doing it all with his legs. Man who plays for San Jose State now at third. Here's the 2-1 pitch to Parker Goff. Here's the pitch, and Goff sees it down. Good slide from Simo's fraction to his right to keep the baseball in front of him. 3-1. And Zarodnik just warming up and stretching out down that left field line. Here's the 3-1 pitch. Goff will spray over towards the first base dugout. That's strike 2. Count now full. In the bottom of the 4th, Santa Barbara leads 3-0. Jariah Lewis had a walk, his 2 stolen bases to get to third. And nobody out. Parker Goff bats out of the 6th hole. Has a full count. Mason Cook comes set. Here's a 3-2 pitch, and Goff will strike out. The heater blazes past him in the 4th K of the day for Mason Cook. Retires Parker Goff. Big first out in the 4th inning. This is going to bring up Brendan Comerford. A strikeout victim in the 2nd. The SLO Blues attempting to plate their first run of the day. Jariah Lewis at third. Santa Barbara lead by 3. First pitch to Comerford. Comerford sprays back a fastball into the netting just to the right of the dish. 0-1. It's cooled off just a little bit with 70 and 75 at the first pitch. Light breeze blowing pole to pole, right to left here at Sinsheimer Park. Mason Cook, the 0-1 offering, and the ball will be in there. It was a fastball to Brendan Comerford, and he will take strike 2. So Mason Cook, after giving up the leadoff walk, strikes out Parker Goff. Now quickly ahead 0-2. It's the second baseman, Comerford. Still a man at third. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Comerford stays alive, pops up over the first base dugout. On top, bounces on top of the beer tent down that first base line. Remains 0-2. On the first base side of the hill, Mason Cook from the stretch, the 0-2 pitch. Laying off the high fastball was Comerford. He did well. You saw him about to go for it and just able to lay off of it. High fastball for ball 1. Sam Ardois will be on deck for SLO. Mason Cook as man at third, 1 out, 1-2 pitch, and Comerford into the gap in left center field. Will Rogers trying to track down, but that ball will fall. 1 run will score. Jariah Lewis to second base will go Brendan Comerford, and the SLO Blues plate their first run of the game. RBI double by Brendan Comerford. It's now a 3-1 ball game. Sturs still lead. That's going to bring up Sam Ardois. Still only a single out in this inning. The second extra base hit of the day for the SLO Blues. And really, when you look at all their hits, currently have 6 knocks. That's the first hit that's actually been barreled up by any SLO Blue player. Comerford now at second. Drives in the first run. 3-1 our score. Here's Ardois. First pitch. Ardois will take a fastball for a strike, 0-1. First 5 hits for the SLO Blues. One of them was good for a double, but not hard hit by any means. Just evading the fielders. Look back to second from Cook. A second look. Third look. Here's the 0-1. And the slider misses away to Ardois, 1-1. And Ardois did receive a double in the second. Ball that was just cutting off the bat. The right-handed batter fell just in fair ground down the right field line. Time being called now by Ardois. We saw D. Kennedy all the way from second base, track all the way over to the foul line, trying to make the catch, laying out, could not make the squeeze, and as a result, Ardois was able to get all the way to second base. But Brendan Comerford drives in the first run. Plates Jariah Lewis, 3-1 our score. SLO trailed by 2. Look to second base from Cook, 1-1 pitch. That's down in the dirt. Andrew Simo did good work to slide to his right. Ball 2. Ty Zarodnik looks like he will be the first man out of the bullpen. The lone lefty now tossing to Cooper Carter, bullpen catcher down the left field line. 2-1 the count. Here's the pitch. Ardois, big old rip, swinging a miss on the high fastball, 2-2. To follow Ardois, only a single out in this inning, will be Gavin Constantine. Ardois bats out of the 8th spot for SLO. Comerford, RBI double at second base. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Ardois, this one's over in the right field. That ball will fall in front of Caden Peterson, held up at third base is Comerford. Another ball that's just flared up over the infield heads and falls. Sam Ardois will plate his second hit of the day. That's the 6th hit that just is bloop single flared up over the heads of the infield. The 6th one of the day to put runners on the corners. Comerford now at third. That puts the tying run at first base in the bottom of the 4th. But a double play in order with Ardois at first. He's a pretty good runner. Need to keep tabs on him. Here's Gavin Constantine at the plate. First pitch, and Constantine sees a high fastball. Ball 1. Mason Cook, threw 48 pitches through his first 3 innings. Having a fight here in the 4th. Trying to retire Constantine at the top of the order on deck. Tying run now at first. Only a single out. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Constantine sees a fastball high and in. Ball 2. Mason Cook takes a moment behind the hill. I saw him take a very deep breath. Now the pitcher's hill, completely engulfed by shadows from the trees to our right. 2-0 pitch. Constantine sees a slider down. That is ball 3. Second base is open. Ethan Royal, the top of the order, is on deck. SLO Blues have plated a run. They have a chance to do some damage here, the bottom of the 4th. Here's the 3-0 pitch. Constantine will take a strike on the slider, just finds the bottom of the zone. 3-1. Comerford is at third. Ardois is at first. Cook needing to retire the 9-hole hitter, but he's behind in the count. 3-1 pitch. Constantine will see ball 4 missing inside. That's going to load up the bases for the SLO Blues. Constantine works a walk. That's the 2nd walk of the inning given up by Mason Cook. Here comes Bill Pintard at the third base dugout. Will this be a pitching change or just almost a stall tactic as well? It gives Rodnick a little extra time if he needs. You see Zarodnik taking a big old swig of a water bottle down in that bullpen. But the entire infield converges. Brendan Comerford is at third, Ardois at second. And Mason Cook, his day will be complete. It will be a signal to the bullpen. Ty Zarodnik, the lone lefty, will come into this ball game. 1 out, bases loaded, tying run at second base. Santa Barbara lead 3-1. We'll be right back.
We're Tammy and Scott from Draftsman Ale Works here in Goleta, California.
For me, making beer is a dream come true. Seeing the community come together in our brewery is a fantastic feeling.
Community West Bank has trusted and believed in us from the very beginning.
Not only have they helped us by getting to where we are today, but they're helping us lay a path for where we want to go.
We count on them.
The community counts on Draftsman Ale Works to bring people together. We're glad they count on us. Community West Bank, member FDIC.
It's out of here. It's tough to tell whether that's another Forester's home run or one of the many flights going out of the Santa Barbara Airport. With 22 daily departures and 11 direct destinations, including Chicago, Dallas, Las Vegas, San Diego, and Seattle, there's no need to drive and fly when you can take off local at the Santa Barbara Airport. Prepare for a departure from the usual travel experience. Choose SBA and depart differently. A proud partner of the Santa Barbara Foresters.
When it comes to your office equipment needs, call Coastal Copy. We're the largest independent office equipment dealership in the Tri-Counties, and as your locally owned authorized Savin dealer, Coastal Copy offers complete sales, service, and supplies on a full line of Savin digital copiers and MFPs, Savin color printers, digital duplicators, Savin wide format systems, digital presses, document management solutions, and more. That's Coastal Copy.
You'll see a difference because we go the distance.
Call 1-800-995-8835.
Left-handed pitcher for the Santa Barbara Foresters, Ty Zarodnik, now out on the hill. Mason Cook got the start today, his second start of the year, going 3 1/3. He gave up 7 hits, still responsible for the bases loaded behind him. He walked 2 and struck out 4, but entered Ty Zarodnik, and Ty has had a very good season so far. Comes into a big spot here in the 4th inning. When you look at it, currently the score 3-1. 1 run already in for SLO here in the 4th. Comerford at 3rd, Ardois at 2nd. Constantine just worked a walk, the 9-hole hitter, to load up the bases. Ty's going to face the top of the order, Ethan Royal, who is 1 for 2 today. Tie and run at 2nd. Go-ahead run at 1st. Only in the bottom of the 4th inning. Santa Barbara put up 2 runs in the 3rd and 1 in the 4th. They entered the bottom half of this inning leading 3-0. Will they still be leading? Rodnick wants to make that happen. First pitch to Royal. Fastball will be called a strike. 0-1. And Royal, who bats from the right side. Seen the delivery out of the left hand of Ty Zarodnik. Here's the 0-1 pitch. And Royal swinging away and fans on it. 0-2. And Ty quickly ahead in the count. No balls, 2 strikes. Looking for a massive second out right here. The corner infielders pinched in. Middle infielders playing a double play depth. The 0-2 pitch. This one is over to D. Kennedy at second base. He slides over. They get one at second. The throw to first will not be in time. A run will come in to score on the attempted 4-6-3 double play. D. Kennedy gets the force out to TJ Pompey at second, but a run will come in. It is now 3-2. The Stir lead down to a single run. Comerford from 3rd will score. Ardois advances to 3rd base. Constantine, a force-out victim at 2nd for the 2nd out. Ethan Royal will bring home a run on the fielder's choice. Now Jake Hicksonbaugh stands in 2 gone, runners on the corners. A 1-run game. Hicksonbaugh struck out, and the base hit in the right field. Be a lefty-lefty matchup with 2 gone. Tie and run at 3rd. First pitch, Hicksonbaugh sees a slider down, and Simo cannot corral it. A run will come in to score. We are tied up on the wild pitch. Ardois scores from 3rd base. 3 runs in the 4th for SLO to tie us up at 3. Ardois scoring on the wild pitch. That's how it is scored for now. Ethan Royal advances to 2nd. Here's the 1-0. Hicksonbaugh sees it down. That is ball 2. Now the go-ahead run at 2nd base for the SLO Blues, bottom of 4. Santa Barbara can't get out of this 4th inning after putting up 1 in the top half of this inning. 2-0 pitch. Hicksonbaugh sees ball 3 low. Zach Tollerman will be next. 5 men have reached base in this inning for the SLO Blues. Hicksonbaugh in this lefty-lefty matchup sees a 3-0 pitch from Zarodnik, squares around to bunt, pulls it back, takes a slider for a strike. 3-1. SLO Blues entering today, winning the last 3 games against the Santa Barbara Foresters. They bested the Stirs yesterday, 8-2 in Santa Barbara. 3-1 pitch. Zarodnik steps off on the hill. Ethan Royal remaining at 2nd base, the go-ahead run for SLO. Look back to 2nd base. Here's the 3-1 pitch. Hicksonbaugh will take a low strike. The slider just clips the lower half of the zone. Full count. A 3-run inning for SLO. We are tied up. Both teams with 3 runs. Man at 2nd. Look back to him. Here's the payoff pitch. Hicksonbaugh flares it up. This time he'll go to TJ Pompey, and TJ just slides over to his right at short. and makes the squeeze to retire the side. Hickson ball, the little pop-up to the shortstop, TJ Pompey. But the damage done. We head to the 5th inning. All square, 3 runs apiece here at Sinsheimer Park.
When it comes to your office equipment needs, call Coastal Copy. We're the largest independent office equipment dealership in the Tri-Counties, and as your locally owned authorized Savin dealer, Coastal Copy offers complete sales, service, and supplies on a full line of Savin digital copiers and MFPs, Savin color printers, digital duplicators, Savin wide format systems, digital presses, document management solutions, and more. That's Coastal Copy.
You'll see a difference because we go the distance.
Call 1-800-995-8835.
I'm Eric Onen, CEO and Managing Director of Santa Barbara Airbus. Santa Barbara Airbus is all about the customer experience. Having your customers count on you. It's because people recognize that you're there when you need them. One of the early challenges for our business was equipment financing. Community West Bank has always found a way for the terms and conditions to work for us and for them. I count on Community West Bank.
The community counts on Santa Barbara Airbus to keep them moving. We're glad they count on us. Community West Bank, member FDIC.
Need a new copier for your office? Coastal Copy is the original copier dealer in the Tri-Counties and your authorized Kyocera dealer, offering complete sales, service, and supplies on a full line of Kyocera Task Alpha digital MFPs. And thanks to the latest in Kyocera mobile and cloud technology, we offer Kyocera's mobile print app, which allows you to access documents through your smartphone or tablet. Call us today to schedule your free assessment and quote.
You'll see a difference because we go the distance.
Call 1-800-995-8835.
We're Tammy and Scott from Draftsman Ale Works here in Goleta, California.
For me, making beer is a dream come true. Seeing the community come together in our brewery is a fantastic feeling.
Community West Bank has trusted and believed in us from the very beginning.
Not only have they helped us by getting to where we are today, but they're helping us lay a path for where we want to go.
We count on them.
The community counts on Draftsman Ale Works to bring people together. We're glad they count on us. Community West Bank, member FDIC.
In the 5th inning, and this 5th inning brought to us by our friends at Finney's Craft House. Finney's Craft House is located on Lower State Street. Great place to gather before or after any game. Finney's Craft House. All tied up at 3 after a 3 spot for the SLO Blues in the bottom of 4. Will Rogers, Jack Holman, TJ Pompey coming on up. They're going to face a brand new pitcher, Sean Cannon, making his debut this evening for the SLO Blues. Cannon just recently graduated high school. He's going to be attending St. Mary's. So the young pitcher will now stand in, the right-hander, to face Will Rogers to start his experience here for the SLO Blues. First pitch, fouled off by Will directly behind home plate. Strike number 1. Santa Barbara put up 2 runs in the 3rd and a run in the 4th. We're now tied up at 3. 2 rivals, San Luis Obispo and Santa Barbara. Will Rogers 0 for 2 today. The 0-1 pitch, and Rogers fouls off the breaking ball over the first base dugout. He is quickly behind 0-2 against Sean Cannon. Rogers a line out to center and ground out back to the mound. Thomas Harper started today, went 4 innings, tossing 81 pitches and allowing 3 runs. Will needs to protect the plate now. Leadoff man for the Sturs. Here is the 0-2 pitch. And Rogers, he will get hit. He tried to turn away from it, but he is hit on the left side, and he will reach base. Rogers aboard for the first time today, and this hit by a pitch brought to us by Alta Orthopedics.
Ouch, that looks like it hurt. This hit by a pitch brought to you by AltaOrthopedics.com. Got hurt? Call them.
Will Rogers now at first, and here's Jack Holman. Yet to record an AB. He has been walked and intentionally walked today. Put him aboard in the 3rd to face TJ Pompey. Didn't pan out for the Blues after Pompey had a 2-run single to put up the first runs of the game. But Holman bats from the left side the first pitch, swing and a miss on the off-speed pitch, 0-1. Sean Cannon making your debut here at Sinsheimer Park. Not the easiest place after just recently graduating high school. Playing in front of north of 1,000 people, likely 1,500 here. Tonight's contest Good exposure for any young player, that is for sure. Check back to the man at first. Rogers in safely feet first. That ball was actually in the dirt, and Zach Tollerman did well to keep that ball in fair ground, not allow Will Rogers to advance on an errant throw from the pitcher. Sean Cannon glares over to Will at first, and the right-handed pitcher Cannon. The 0-1, and Holman down the right field line foul. That ball was pretty sharply hit off the barrel of Jack, but right when you saw it touch the grass, it looked like it just stalled for a moment. That's because all the grass here, especially in the infield and even in foul ground, not the most tightly mown grass you'll ever see. Like some shabby rough versus cut like a fairway. Get a sense of the texture. Here's the 0-2 now, and it's fouled back just to the left of the dish for Jack. There remains 0-2. You go to different parks, and especially for Santa Barbara, all these top players coming from Power 5 schools, you're accustomed to all the manicured grass, and even AstroTurf as well. Artificial turf in some baseball fields nowadays. Will still at first, no outs. Here's the 0-2 pitch as Holman sees a fastball away for a ball. Looking back to the first game, early half of June, remember a few fielded balls on the infielders caused a couple errors on Santa Barbara. Here's the 1-2 pitch, and this ball is fouled back off the catcher of Jack Holman. Parker Groff took the brunt of that ball. He's still down, picks himself up. Took that foul tip back off the ball of Jack Holman's bat. He is okay. The home plate umpire does give him a moment. But Jack protecting the plate here. Ball and 2 strikes. Will Rogers remains at first. In the infield, that double play depth and the shadows being casted from the trees and surrounding buildings here at Sinsheimer Park getting much, much longer. The entire infield now covered by shadows, and partial of right field now in the shadows as well. Approaching sunset here, California. The 1-2 pitch. Holman, swing and a miss on the breaking ball. Sean Cannon tires Jack Holman. One away in the 5th, and the first K of the day and the first K of the season for Sean Cannon. Rogers remains at first. Here comes TJ Pompey. Pompey had a base hit straight up the gut in the 3rd inning to bring in the first runs of the day for Santa Barbara. Gave the Stars a momentary lead. Santa Barbara on a tied ball game against the SLO Blues. Here's the first pitch, and TJ takes fastball for a strike. Sean Cannon lost his hat on the follow-through, but he does fire a strike to TJ Pompey. Will Rogers still remains at first. He's 5 of 6. Stolen bases, 2 attempts. Not the biggest lead in the world, slowly inching out from first. With 1 out, the 0-1 pitch, and Pompey all tied up. Did he go? No, he did not. Looked like his hips were trying to turn out of the way, leaving the barrel of the bat behind him, able to check his swing after that ball nearly clips him on the left side. It is just ball 1 to TJ. Johnny Rodriguez will be next. Santa Barbara, runner at first, trying to retake the lead. 1-1 pitch, and Pompey sees fastball down. It's 2-1. DJ, before his 2 RBI single, did have a walk in the 2nd. Nice day at the plate, seeing the baseball well. He's ahead in the count, 2-1. Trying to advance. Will Rogers around the bases. Coming set, the right-hander Sean Cannon. Here's the 2-1 pitch. TJ Pompey, big old cut, swinging a miss through the fastball, 2-2. And Sean Cannon again loses the cap on the hill. You look at the uniforms tonight. Yellow tops for the SLO Blues, white bottoms for the Santa Barbara Foresters, blue tops and gray bottoms. Sean Cannon looking into his catcher, Parker Groff. It's at a 2-2 count, 1 out. Rogers at first, tied game. Here's the 2-2 pitch. TJ Pompey takes a fastball down and in for ball 3, full count. SLO Blues tied up this ball game in the bottom of the fourth, putting up a 3 spot. 3 runs for both teams. Can TJ work some magic here? Count full. Sean Cannon struck out Jack Holman, his last batter. Winds up the 3-2 pitch. Pompey will take strike 3. TJ thought he had first base. Instead, he goes down looking. The fastball just clips the corner. Consecutive Ks for Sean Cannon. Saw TJ turn around, looking like he was about to toss the lumber, then gets rung up. Our home plate umpire. 2 punch outs for Sean Cannon. Will remains at first base. This is going to bring up Johnny Rodriguez. Johnny today, base hit in the left and a line out to the shortstop. Rogers, the leadoff man, he was hit by Sean Cannon. He just remains at first base. First pitch, so Johnny Rodriguez. This ball hit well and deep in right. Will it stay fair? That ball over the right field fence, and that ball is gone. Johnny Rodriguez, first home run of the year, and the Sturs now lead 5-3 here in the 5th. Johnny Rodriguez puts the Sturs back out on top. Second hit of the day. 5-3 our score. Johnny Rodriguez, big time shot out in right field. Played 2 more runs and gives Santa Barbara the lead that they needed here in the 5th. This is going to bring up Daniel Patterson. Base is now clear, 2 runs in. First pitch to Patterson. And Patterson pops up over the first base dugout, strike 1. And that home run by Johnny Rodriguez is brought to us by Santa Barbara Airport for sponsoring that Forester home run. You can always get home with Santa Barbara Airport. Base is now clear with 2 outs. That 2-run homer coming with 2 outs by Johnny. Here's the 0-1 to Patterson, and Patterson sees a slider for a strike, 0-2. Let's not forget TJ Pompey had a couple RBIs earlier in this game. 2 RBIs by Johnny Rodriguez. Those are brought to us by Gold's Gym. A couple locations for Gold's Gym in Santa Barbara. Thank you to Gold's for sponsoring those RBI. Here's the 0-2 pitch, and Patterson chops this one over to Sam Ardois, who can't field it. That ball went in and out of his glove. Maybe a chance for the second baseman, actually fielded that ball in the air. Took a wild deflection after the glove of the shortstop. Sam Ardois charged on in. Kicks off his glove, went about 10 feet in the air. The second baseman caught the baseball, but no throw over to first. And as a result, Patterson will reach base on an E6. So the inning will continue. On the air on the shortstop, Sam Ardois. This is going to bring up Andrew Simo. First pitch to Simo, off speed, drops its way in there, inner half of the zone for strike number 1. Simo had an RBI single in the right in the last inning. But 2 runs in the 5th for Santa Barbara. They lead 5-3. Patterson able to reach to extend the inning on the E6. Here's the 0-1 pitch to Simo, and Andrew sees it in the dirt, and that ball gets past the catcher, actually kicks to the right of Parker Goff, and that will advance Daniel Patterson to second base. Patterson to second on the errant pitch. And Andrew Simo is at a 1-1 count. Batting out the 8th spot, can Santa Barbara tack on 1 more run? Can they respond after conceding 3 runs in the bottom of the 4th with 3 runs of their own? Here's the 1-1 pitch. Simo sees a fastball down and away, 2-1. Great resolve from Santa Barbara. Will Rogers, he was hit by a pitch to kick off the inning. The next 2 struck out, but Johnny Rodriguez, a 2-run homer, put the Santa Barbara Foresters back out on top. 5-3 our score. Simo at a 2-1 count. Here's the pitch, and the 2-1 misses down. That is ball 3. For Sean Cannon, young pitcher who just graduated high school. After striking out Holman and Pompey, not 2 easy feats. Gives up the home run. Now struggling to find the zone. Simo ahead, 3-1. Here's the pitch, and Simo will see ball 4 in. He had to shimmy his way back to avoid getting clipped on his left knee. But Andrew Simo works a walk. Second time he's aboard today to put 2 aboard. Still 2 outs. And the catcher, Parker Goff, out to talk things over with Sean Cannon. But a 2-out error might be costly here for the SLO Blues. That's Patterson at second base. He reached on the E6. Any errors hurt you, but especially when they come with 2 outs, especially if you're a pitcher, Sean Cannon, you think the inning's over, inducing that chopped ground ball to the shortstop. Said you got to regather yourself and face Andrew Simo. End up walking the man. Now you're going to face a 9-hole hitter, D. Kennedy. He has a walk, sacrifice bunt. First pitch, nearly clips his left side. Ball 1 was a fastball from Cannon missing. Sean Cannon struck out 2 and gives up the home run, E6, and now the walk to Simo. First pitch was missing in to D. Kennedy. Here's the second pitch, and Kennedy sees a fastball missing down. That is ball 2. Things could get interesting here in this 5th inning. A lot of action coming with the 2 outs on the scoreboard in this Finney's 5th inning. After Santa Barbara conceded 3 in the bottom half of the 4th, they respond scoring 2 to retake the lead. 2-0 pitch, D. Kennedy. This time we'll see a strike. The off-speed pitch from Sean Cannon finds the upper half of the zone. 2-1. For Santa Barbara in their final road game of the regular season. Trying to end on a high note. Man at second, man at first, 2-1 pitch. Kennedy into left field. It's drilled pretty well hit. Jariah Lewis goes back and makes the squeeze just in front of the warning track to retire D. Kennedy. He will line out to the left fielder for the 3rd out of the inning. But Johnny Rodriguez, the 2-run homer, puts the Stars back out on top. They lead 5-3 over the SLO Blues.
It's out of here. It's tough to tell whether that's another Forester's home run or one of the many flights going out of the Santa Barbara Airport. With 22 daily departures and 11 direct destinations, including Chicago, Dallas, Las Vegas, San Diego, and Seattle, there's no need to drive and fly when you can take off local at the Santa Barbara Airport. Prepare for a departure from the usual travel experience. Choose SBA and depart differently. A proud partner of the Santa Barbara Foresters.
When it comes to your office equipment needs, call Coastal Copy. We're the largest independent office equipment dealership in the Tri-Counties, and as your locally owned authorized Savin dealer, Coastal Copy offers complete sales, service, and supplies on a full line of Savin digital copiers and MFPs, Savin color printers, digital duplicators, Savin wide format systems, digital presses, document management solutions, and more. That's Coastal Copy.
You'll see a difference because we go the distance.
Call 1-800-995-8835.
I'm Eric Onen, CEO and Managing Director of Santa Barbara Airbus. Santa Barbara Airbus is all about the customer experience. Having your customers count on you. It's because people recognize that you're there when you need them. One of the early challenges for our business was equipment financing. Community West Bank has always found a way for the terms and conditions to work for us and for them. I count on Community West Bank.
The community counts on Santa Barbara Airbus to keep them moving. We're glad they count on us. Community West Bank, member FDIC.
Bottom of the 5th inning, Santa Barbara have retaken the lead. They lead 5-3 in the bottom of the 5th. This 5th inning brought to us by our friends at Finney's Craft House. Finney's Craft House located on Lower State Street. Great place to grab some food before or after any Forester game. Finney's Craft House. Zach Tollerman will lead things off. Ty Zarodnik remains on the hill. The first pitch from Ty. And it's a fastball missing away for ball number 1. It's going to be 3, 4, and 5 coming on up for the SLO Blues. after they plated 3 runs in the 4th to put up their first runs and tie the game, but Santa Barbara, thanks to Johnny Rodriguez, have regained the lead. 1-0 pitch, that's in there for a strike on the off-speed from Ty, 1-1. Tollerman, Witten, and Jariah Lewis scheduled in the 5th. Ty Zarodnik entered with the bases loaded, only a single out. Now the 1-1 pitch, and that's away to Tollerman. That's when Ty Zarodnik entered this ball game. Mason Cook, the starter, went 3 1/3, where Zarodnik induced a ground ball, which results in the fielder's choice and a run being scored, then induced a pop-up. Santa Barbara did their best to limit the damage in the last inning, but SLO obviously did convert. But Ty Zarodnik now with some run support, leading by 2. 2-1 pitch to the leadoff man, Zach Tollerman, and Tollerman spins away from a slider out the arm of the left-handed pitcher. That is ball 3, it misses in. With Tollerman batting from the right side and on deck, another right-handed batter, Cooper Witten. Here's the 3-1 pitch. Tollerman will take a strike. He took it 1 step down towards that first baseline. Instead, he sees a 3-2 count. He's got a base hit, grounded into a double play so far today, 1 for 2. Zarodnik winds up the payoff pitch. Tollerman will go down looking. It just drops in the bottom half of the zone, and Tollerman goes down looking. Ty Zarodnik picks up his first strikeout, a big first out here in the 5th. That's going to bring up the DH, Cooper Witten. Witten 0 for 2, okay, and a ground out to the third baseman, Daniel Patterson. Majority of the field now, say about 85% of fair ground covered by shadows. Just a little bit of a sun garden out in center field. Jonas Sebring is out there. First pitch to Witten, and he will take a strike on the breaking ball from Zarodnik, 0-1. The winds, they've calmed down. They're blowing in towards home plate and also blowing pole to pole, currently in the American flag limp. The 0-1 pitch, and the slider misses into the right-handed bat of Witten, evens up the count at 1. Ty Zarodnik, he was the first man out of the bullpen. Looking down that left field line, it looks like Jake Fields is tossing. Both Fields and Shea Went listed available today. 1-1 pitch to Witten, and that's away on the off-speed from Ty, 2-1. But it is Jake Fields now throwing down in that bullpen for Santa Barbara. Likely the next man out. 1 away and the base is clear. Bottom of the 5th. Here's the 2-1 pitch to Cooper Witten, and Cooper Witten fans on the fastball, 2-2. 5-3 our score. Leadoff man was retired. Ty Zarodnik from the middle of the hill. Very close stance on the hill, and the 2-2 pitch to Witten. That's down in the dirt, full count. So for the second consecutive batter, Ty Zarodnik has a payoff pitch. Got Tollerman looking. Leadoff man now Cooper Witten was Cade and a ground out. Here comes the 3-2 pitch, and Witten will see ball 4 missing away. So Ty Zarodnik loses Witten. He will reach base for the first time today. This is going to bring up Jariah Lewis. Lewis 0 for 1. Fly out to right. Worked a walk in the 4th, 2 stolen bases, and came in to score the first of the 3 runs in the last inning. Now as Witten at first base, a DH, not the biggest threat on the base paths. The SLO Blues, those 2 stolen bases from Jariah Lewis, who now stands in from the left side. Now it's 71 attempted stolen bases on the year. Won't expect to see Witten run here. Only 3 attempts on the season. It's a lefty-lefty matchup. To Lewis and Zarodnik. First pitch. Well, there goes the runner. So much for what I said in the throwdown. It's a good one. Can TJ get him? No. Man went in standing. So Cooper Witten, a stolen bag. Third stolen bag of the day for the SLO Blues. Now man in scoring position. First pitch missed to Jariah Lewis for ball 1. Man in scoring position. SLO trying to cut to their 2-run deficit, 5-3 our score. Look back to second from Zarodnik. The 1-0 pitch to Jariah Lewis. We'll have to wait. He steps off on the hill. Parker Goff will be next, or San Luis Obispo. Approaching the 2-hour mark here in San Luis Obispo. Sunset scheduled for 8:15 local time. About 15 minutes away. Now time being called by the batter, Jariah Lewis. He's only seen one pitch so far. The SLO Blues winning their last 3 games against the Santa Barbara Foresters. Look back to second from Zai Zarodnik. Second look, here's the 1-0 pitch, and Jariah Lewis will see it down. Good slide from Andrew Simo to his right. That is ball 2. Wind's picking up now. Blown in directly towards home plate. Oscillating winds here today in SLO. Zarodnik, the 2-0 pitch, and Jariah Lewis sees a slider that will miss in. That is ball 3 in this lefty-lefty matchup. Jake Fields was warming down that left field line for Santa Barbara. Right-handed reliever, Zarodnik needs to find a strike. 3-0 pitch, Jariah Lewis will see a strike. It looked like it might have missed the zone, but Zarodnik gets the call on the fastball. Lewis thought he had his second base on balls. Instead, he takes strike 1. Cooper Witten worked a walk with 1 out. Stolen bag. He's now at second. Zarodnik fired a strike to keep himself in the count. Long looked at second base, 3-1 pitch. Runner goes from second to third, and that ball nearly thrown in the outfield. Daniel Patterson just was able to get the webbing on it as the pitch missed into Jariah Lewis for ball 4. Cooper Witten was on the move. He swipes third base. Nearly a run would have scored with Daniel Patterson not grabbing that baseball. Patterson was on the third base dugout side of third base. Had to reach around the runner on the second base side of the third base station to grab that ball. It was an errant throw from Andrew Simo, but no damage done, with Patterson able to grab the ball and keep the runner at third, not allowing him to come in to score. But consecutive walks for the SLO Blues. Witten now at third, Jariah Lewis now at first, second walk of the day for him. Andrew Simo was out to have a word with his pitcher, Ty Zarodnik. And we do see Fields, and also looks like Shea Went now warming in the bullpen, or at least a couple guys up and stretching. Here comes Bill Pintard out of the third base dugout. The batter will be Parker Goff. Will this be it for Ty Zarodnik? We saw him take over from Mason Cook, who went 3 1/3. The entire infield converges on the hill. As it stands, 5-3 our score. Witten is at third. Jariah Lewis now at first, representing the tying run at first base. And we will have a pitching change. Jake Fields will enter for the Santa Barbara Foresters. Ty Zarodnik, his day complete. Runners on the corners, 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th.
Thanks for listening. But how would you like to read about your favorite team? Hi, this is Jim Buckley, and I'm proud to announce the publication of our first book about the Foresters, Stir It Up, the story of America's most successful summer baseball team, is out now. 100% of the profits from this new book will benefit the Hugs for Cubs. You can buy one at the ballpark or online. Visit sbforesters.org for a direct link, or look us up on bookbaby.com. You can also pick up a copy locally at the Mesa Bookstore or Chaucer's or the Tecolote Bookshop. Stir It Up includes a complete history of the team from the founding by Bob Townsend in 1991 through all 10 national championships under Bill Pintard. You'll hear again from great Foresters players, read about the Hugs for Cubs, check out our all-time records, and much more. Help the Hugs and read Stir It Up. More info at sbforesters.org.
Need a new copier for your office? Coastal Copy is the original copier dealer in the Tri-Counties and your authorized Kyocera dealer, offering complete sales, service, and supplies on a full line of Kyocera Task Alpha digital MFPs. And thanks to the latest in Kyocera mobile and cloud technology, we offer Kyocera's mobile print app, which allows you to access documents through your smartphone or tablet. Call us today to schedule your free assessment and quote.
You'll see a difference because we go the distance.
Call 1-800-995-8835.
Jake Fields will take over for Ty Zarodnik. Zarodnik entered in the fourth inning for Mason Cook. Now Jake Fields, the right-hander. For Fields, it's his fifth appearance on the year officially in CCL games. He's had other appearances in non-league games, but officially in CCL countable games. He's pitched 3 1/3, allowed 1 hit, walked 2, and struck out 7, not allowing a run. He enters with runners on the corners. Witten is at third, Lewis at first. 5-3 our score, Santa Barbara on top. He faces the 6-hole hitter Parker Goff. First pitch, we'll have to wait. Check back to the man at first base. In safely is Jariah Lewis. It's starting to cool off here in SLO. Maybe a few jackets being pulled out by the fans in attendance here at Sinsheimer Park. Now the first pitch, and the runner goes, missing down, and no throw from Andrew Simo down to the second baseman. So Jariah Lewis now has another stolen bag. A lot of stolen bases so far today for the SLO Blues. Taking a page out of the Santa Barbara Foresters book with another stolen bag. That puts the tying run now in scoring position for Parker Goff. There's the 1-0 pitch, and Goff will spray it back behind home plate just to the right of the dish. 1-1. Breeze still gently blowing in towards home plate. Under the lights here at Sinsheimer Park. Still good visibility all the way around. Sunset is approaching here on the central coast of California. 1-1 pitch to Goff, and Goff will take, no, does not take a strike. Did not miss by much on the fastball from Jake Fields, 2-1. Fields, first right-hander out of the bullpen today for Ryan Kramer. His team currently leads by 2, but 2 aboard in scoring position, 1 out. 2-1 pitch. Parker Goff sees a fastball high and away. That is ball 3. Brendan Comerford stands on deck. Jake Fields looks to fire a strike. Cooper Witten and Jariah Lewis both working walks to get on base. Fields needs to deliver right here. 3-1 pitch, and Goff will see ball 4 missing high. 3 consecutive walks given up by Santa Barbara pitching to load up the bases. For Brendan Comerford, bats out of the 7th spot for SLO. Comerford, 1 for 2. A strikeout, an RBI double, and also a run scored in the 4th. That double was in the left center field. But Jake Fields looking for a ground ball. Middle infielders pinched in. Check that the corner infielders with the first pitch to Brendan Comerford missing high, ball 1. Rodriguez at first pinching in along with Patterson at third. The middle infielders playing at double play depth. Witten at third, Lewis second, Goff first. Puts the go-ahead run at first base. 1-0 pitch. Comerford will spray over the first base dugout, strike 1. And Diego Ramos now up and warming and throwing in the bullpen for Santa Barbara. Ramos was listed as the leverage man. Fields can't get the second out. Might be calling on Ramos earlier in the ball game, likely than what Ryan Kramer would want. 1-1 pitch. Comerford will take a strike. The fastball just clips the lower half of the zone, 1-2. Punch out here for Jake Fields could be huge. With two, they're working with 2 outs instead of 1, but only 1 out on the scoreboard. Bases loaded. 1-2 pitch. Comerford will strike out, chasing the high fastball. Critical second out for Santa Barbara. Jake Fields gets the second out via a K. Well done from Jake Fields, walking the first man he faces in this leverage situation. He then strikes out Brendan Comerford for a critical second out. This is going to bring up Sam Ardois. He is 2 for 2, a double and a base hit, both in a right field. He also has a run scored. First pitch, the right-handed bat of Ardois. Check swing, but the changeup drops in, 0-1. Jake Fields starting to find his rhythm. First pitch strike to Ardois. Bats out of the 8 spot. Trying to get out of this jam. The 0-1 pitch. Ardois swinging away and fans on it. The fastball high in the zone. 0-2. Jake Fields quickly in command over Sam Ardois. Bases remain loaded, but 2 gone. Santa Barbara holding on to a 2-run lead, bottom of the 5th. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Ardois, we'll see a fastball high, 1-2. All 3 men on base for the Blues worked walks, with 3 stolen bases for the first 2 men. Fields can get out of this inning with 1 good pitch. Here's the 1-2. Ardois check swing. Fastball just misses in. 2-2. On deck is Gavin Constantine. Jake Fields wants to take care of business right here against Sam Ardois. Got ahead 0-2. It's now 2-2. Here's the pitch. Ardois into center field. Will it fall? Yes, it will, in front of Jonah Sebring. 1 run in. The throw in from Jonah. Picked up. A play at third base. They get the man at third base, but 2 runs come in to score. And they're saying on the time play, they played the second run. The cutoff man, Johnny Rodriguez, at first base, picked up that baseball, threw to third to get the 3rd out of the inning. And they're saying the 2 runs came in to score. That will bring a close to the inning. Sam Ardois has the base hit into center field, scores a pair of runs, but the Santa Barbara Foresters get the 3rd out at third base. Yet again, we are tied up at Sinsheimer Park. To the 6th we go from SLO.
During this time of record market highs and gradual economic recovery, it's essential you have someone you can trust. For 10 consecutive years, the Santa Barbara News Press Reader's Choice Poll has awarded Tremblay Financial Services recognition for the financial guidance they provide their clients. Tremblay Financial Advisors continually educate their clients with new options and financial planning tailored fit to you. For more information or an appointment, call 569-1982 or log on to tremblayfinancial.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Centaurus Financial Inc., member FINRA and SIPC, a registered investment advisor. Tremblay Financial Services and Centaurus Financial are not affiliated companies. Investing involves risk, including potential loss of principal. No investment strategy can guarantee a profit or protect against a loss in periods of declining values.
We're Tammy and Scott from Draftsman Ale Works here in Goleta, California.
For me, making beer is a dream come true. Seeing the community come together in our brewery is a fantastic feeling.
Community West Bank has trusted and believed in us from the very beginning.
Not only have they helped us by getting to where we are today, but they're helping us lay a path for where we want to go.
We count on them.
The community counts on Draftsman Ale Works to bring people together. We're glad they count on us. Community West Bank, member FDIC.
It's out of here. It's tough to tell whether that's another Forester's home run or one of the many flights going out of the Santa Barbara airport. With 22 daily departures and 11 direct destinations, including Chicago, Dallas, Las Vegas, San Diego, and Seattle, there's no need to drive and fly when you can take off local at the Santa Barbara airport. Prepare for a departure from the usual travel experience. Choose SBA and depart differently. A proud partner of the Santa Barbara Foresters.
Top of the sixth inning, Sean Cannon, who came in relief in the fifth inning, back out on the hill for the SLO Blues, but we are tied up yet again. Middle innings here in SLO. Santa Barbara entering the bottom half of the fourth. We're leading 3-0 before SLO put up 3 runs of their own to tie it up. Santa Barbara took the lead top half of the fifth, but give it right back up with SLO, pushing in 2 in the bottom of the Finney's fifth inning. Sam Mardois had the 2-run single up the middle of the field. Santa Barbara get the third out at third base with Goff, who was at first, try to get all the way to third base, but the cutoff man throws him out at third base, and that second run plated before the third out was recorded. But it's the top of the order for the Stirs. Caden Peterson will lead things off, tied ball game, top of the sixth. First look for Caden against Sean Cannon. First pitch, and the fastball misses in. Nearly clips the left elbow of Caden. Ball 1. Caden today, 0 for 2. Did work a walk in the fourth before he's caught in a rundown. 1-0 pitch, and Peterson nearly has to back away from it, nearly clips his elbow. And now someone's tossed from the ball game. Was it Sean Cannon? 2 quick pitches that nearly clipped Caden Peterson, but someone was tossed. It looks like it wasn't the pitcher, but someone in the dugout was just tossed. But no, they're saying Sean Cannon tossed out of this ball game on the high pitch to Caden Peterson. They're tossing Sean Cannon. And Cannon going back to the first base dugout, having a little words to the home plate umpire. Now the crowd's getting into it. On the second pitch to Caden Peterson, nearly clips his chin. Peterson hit the deck, and they toss Sean Cannon out of the ball game, the pitcher. Now getting ready in a hurry, men down in the bullpen. And the crowd was getting into it. We know the history between these two teams and how these games can get heated, but we'll have a new arm coming into the ball game. We will step away. Things getting a little bit more interesting here in SLO. Don't go anywhere. Tied ball game, new arm coming in. Caden Peterson at a 2-0 count. New pitcher coming in for the SLO Blues will be Jack Sand, a left-handed pitcher who plays for the University of Washington. Will take things over in the middle of the at-bat after Sean Cannon who is making his debut, just recently graduated high school. Toss out of the ball game by the home plate umpire. First pitch to Caden Peterson nearly clipped his left elbow. The second pitch was up high. Caden Peterson ended up flat on his back. It was going toward his chin. As a result, Sean Cannon was tossed out of the ball game. Caden Peterson is at a 2-0 count. Jack Sand looked like he was warming up in that bullpen down the right field line. Had to expedite his warm-up process, now entering this ball game. Bill Pintard now having a conversation with the home plate umpire. Just more getting the lay of the land. And Pinner going back to the third base dugout. So Jack Sam will now enter the middle of the AB for Caden Peterson. Also on deck will be Jack Bollinger. There was a change late in the last inning. Jack Bollinger was put in defensively in center field for the Santa Barbara Foresters. So Bollinger will hit for the first time after Peterson will continue his AB. Peterson at the top of the order. We have a tied ball game, 5 runs apiece. After is a relatively benign first 2 innings, in the last 2 innings, 8 runs have come around to score between the 4th and 5th. Santa Barbara put up 3, and SLO put up 5 in the last 2 innings. But it is a 5-5 game. Peterson, who stands in at a 2-0 count after Sands is tossed. Our home plate umpire. Here's the first pitch to Jack Sands, and the fastball is in there for strike number 1. So Sands, the left-handed pitcher, facing the right-handed bat, Caden Peterson. However you want to judge that decision to eject Sean Cannon after 2 pitches, one coming up high to Caden. Here's the 2-1 as Peterson nearly clipped on the left side. He has to back away from it. 3-1. No, the umpiring crews, after what's happened earlier on in the season, nothing really much happened yesterday in terms of extracurricular activity between the Santa Barbara Foresters and the Blues. You want to keep tabs on the ball game. Here's a 3-1 pitch to the leadoff man, and Peterson sees a breaking ball in there for a strike, full count. As it has definitely cooled off. A few jackets being pulled out. Mid to upper 60s now here in SLO. Past sunset, the Central Coast. It's 3-2, and Jackson entering the middle of the AB. The payoff pitch. Peterson will spoil it foul in front of the third base dugout. We will do it again. It's going to be Peterson, Jack Bollinger to hit for the first time for Jonas Sebring, and then Will Rogers. Here comes the payoff pitch yet again to Caden Peterson, and Peterson will see ball 4 away. The fastball missing from Jack Sand. Caden Peterson will work his second walk of the day, and the leadoff man aboard for the Sturs. Jack Bollinger will now stand in for the first time. So Bollinger to hit. And at first, Caden Peterson in this tied ball game. Can Santa Barbara pick up the runs that they just conceded? The first pitch to Jack will miss away. That is ball 1. It's a lefty-lefty matchup between Jack Sand and Boley. Sebring is day complete. He had 2 strikeouts, a double in right center field, and also a run scored. Peterson, wouldn't be surprised to see him take off some point in this inning. The 1-0 pitch, and the slider drops in nicely. Bollinger had to turn away from it in this lefty-lefty matchup. It's 1-1. Tied ball game, top of the 6th. Feel like this game's going to come down to the wire. The intensity's only going to ratchet up. 1-1 pitch. Bollinger swinging away on the slider. Fans on it. 1-2. Will Rogers will be on deck. Santa Barbara, they've scored in the last 3 innings. 2 in the 3rd, 1 in the 4th, 2 in the 5th. Put up some more runs. Bollinger needs to protect in this lefty-lefty matchup. There's the 1-2 pitch. Bollinger just taps it. No, he did not touch it. He fans on it. And that ball got away from the catcher, Parker Goff. Bollinger will strike out with first base occupied. No chance to reach base. Looked like it might have went off the edge of his bat, but it deflected off the mitt of Parker Goff and went all the way to the backstop. But Bollinger did not touch the baseball. He strikes out for the first out. Peterson advances to second on the errant pitch. No chance for Bollinger with first base occupied. He is retired on the spot. So Bollinger Ks, and Will Rogers will now stand in, but a man in scoring position after the errant pitch. Here's the first offering to Will, and Rogers sees a fastball down from left-handed delivery of Jack Sand. 1-0. Peterson, he's got the wheels on base. If Rogers can put something in play, the man in scoring position, Sturs attempting to retake the lead. 1-0 count for Will Rogers. He was 0 for 2, but he was hit last time up. The 1-0 pitch, Rogers fouls it back just to the right of home plate, 1-1. We mentioned entering today, Santa Barbara a half game now behind the Conejo Oaks in the CCL South. Conejo, about 15 minutes ago, was trailing by 10 runs to the Arroyo Seco Saints in the 6th inning. So likely Conejo will drop that game, and Santa Barbara could pull out a victory here. They'll be back on top of the CCL South. A lot to play for. And it's second, 1 out. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Rogers takes a fastball away, 2-1. Not only playing against your rival, trying to tie up the season series. Currently the SLO Blues besting the Sturs 4-3. Trying to get back on top of the CCL South with a victory, assuming that Conejo score holds. 2-1 pitch to Rogers. Rogers slices it over the first base dugout, out of play, 2-2. Still a nice crowd here in attendance at Sinsheimer Park. Looks like it's thinned out just a little bit. Some of the bleacher seats, the 5 rows surrounding the playing surface. Definitely has cooled off drastically since earlier today. Upper 70s. Santa Barbara Foresters got here 75 degrees at first pitch. Jack Sand, southpaw, steps off, and Parker Goff, the catcher, out to have a conversation with him. It's been a very interesting last couple innings. The first 3 innings went relatively easy, pretty quick pace, and then things started to slow down. A lot of runs being scored. Sean Cannon, the pitcher, was ejected after 2 pitches. Caden Peterson, one that nearly clipped his head near his chin area, forcing the pitching change in the middle of the AB. We are in the top of the 6th, tied game, but a man at second, 1 out. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Rogers on the ground, foul down the third base line in front of his third base dugout, 2-2. When Santa Barbara's played up here in SLO, with the ejection of Sean Cannon, we saw an injection earlier in the season. I believe that was the June 30th game. Player in the dugout was ejected when the assistant coaches served the ejection, murmuring out of that first base dugout. Here's the 2-2 pitch to Will, and Rogers sees a slider, stays away, and that'll be a full count. Bollinger, he struck out Jack Sand. Now lefty-lefty matchup. There's action in both bullpens. So Brady Spencer now warming down the left field line for the Sturs, but a payoff pitch to Will, and Rogers jammed near the hands down the right field line. It will cut foul. It remains 3-2. Long battle here, not really in terms of the amount of pitches, but the actual amount of feasible time between Will Rogers and Jack Sand. It remains 3-2. Will Rogers trying to advance. Man at second. Will sees the payoff pitch, and it misses in. Big old bat flip from Will Rogers. He will go down the first base line towards first base. He sees ball 4. That's going to put 2 men aboard for the Santa Barbara Foresters. We do see Shea Went as well warming down that left field line for Santa Barbara. But Rogers aboard for the second time today. It is a 5-5 game. Caden Peterson worked a walk, advanced on a wild pitch to second. Rogers now at first, only a single out. Santa Barbara looked to capitalize with Jack Holman. Lefty-lefty matchup, first pitch, and Holman has to turn away from a ball that went near his head. He got away from it. Was he hit? Both base runners advance. And Holman, talking to the home plate umpire, he was just able to evade that baseball. That was coming toward his upper chest near the neck area on the lefty-lefty matchup. So both base runners advance on the errant pitch. Peterson to third, Rogers to second. And Holman visibly frustrated that last pitch, but two now in scoring position. Was just able to avoid the baseball. Looked like the catcher, Parker Goff, was able to get his glove on it. Peterson to third, Rogers to second. In this tied game, Santa Barbara looking to regain the lead. 1-0 pitch, and this slider will miss in. And they're saying it hit Jack Holman on this lefty-lefty matchup. Jack Sand went back to that slider again, started on body of Holman, could not bend away from him, and Holman is hit. And now Bill Pintard furious out of the third base dugout. Now the crowd saying toss Bill Pintard. And Pinner likely saying his man hit again. Pintard goes back to the third base dugout. And no, they're saying Holman's not going to first base. It looked like it hit him, but they're saying he turned into it. Now Steve Shuck, the third base coach, getting into it with the third base umpire. So they're saying Holman turned into it. Do not give him first base. And Steve Shuck goes back to the third base dugout. Steve Shuck back into the third base dugout. Don't believe the umpires tossed him. He's the third base coach and one of the associate coaches for the Foresters, Bill Pintard. Back to the third base dugout. The umpiring crew talking things over halfway down the third baseline. So these last couple sequences, Holman on the first pitch that he saw nearly clips him and allowed both base runners to advance into scoring position. Holman was visibly frustrated. It was a slider on the lefty-lefty matchup, and that slider starts on body and tries to work its way into the zone. Jack Sand doubled up on the pitch, and we saw Jack Holman lean into it. He was hit, but the umpire saying he leaned into it. Do not try to get out of the way. Do not give him first base. That's when Bill Pintard came furiously out of the third base dugout. And Steve Shuck, who was third base coach, went back to the dugout. Don't think he was ejected, but now it's like Coach Aggs, now the third base coach for Santa Barbara. It's 1-1 for Holman after all of this, and the fastball is down the middle for strike two. Things getting more and more interesting here in SLO. Bill Pintard walking the tightrope and nearly getting ejected after furious not giving Holman first base. Still a tied game. 1-2 pitch, and Holman sees the slider. And this time it looks like it clipped his right side. And again on that Evo shield, it's saying he turned into it. And it did indeed hit Holman, but they're not going to give him first base, saying that he turned into it. And that's going to be strike three to Jack Holman. He is going to be retired, going back to the third base dugout for the second out. And again, in these lefty-lefty matchups, Jack Sand has been going with the slider, not having that late break, and Holman leaned into two pitches, but assessed strikes, and he is now retired. Here's TJ Pompey, the first pitch to TJ, who bats from the right side, takes a strike. And that third base dugout for Santa Barbara, definitely animated internally, not expressing it vocally. Two in scoring position, two gone. Can Santa Barbara find a base hit? 0-1 to TJ. Pompey spits on a breaking ball down. 1-1. What a sixth inning this has turned into. We saw an ejection from a pitcher, Sean Cannon. Jack Sand has a couple close calls on Jack Holman. But the count now 1-1 at TJ. Here's the pitch. Pompey sprays it over the first base dugout. Strike two. These last couple innings. Can't make some of this stuff up. What's occurred? It's been back and forth. Slow, grindy baseball all the way through. Ejection of a pitcher. Holman leans into a couple pitches. They do not give him first base. So now two gone. At third base is Peterson. Rogers at second. Top of six. We are tied at 5. Here's the 1-2 pitch to Pompey. TJ sees a slider away. 2-2. Pompey drove in the first runs of the day. Base hit up the middle of the field. Back in the third. Can he do it again? 2-2 pitch. Pompey nearly gets clipped on the fastball high and tight. Full count. Pompey is the 5th batter. But we're likely going on 25 minutes in the top half of this inning. Jack Sand winds up the 3-2 pitch. Pompey sees a slider away. That is ball 4, loading up the bases. Peterson worked to walk. Rogers worked to walk. And now TJ Pompey works to walk. Jack Sand, who entered in the middle of the AB against Caden Peterson. After Sean Cannon, the relief pitcher, was tossed from the ball game. He's gone walk, strikeout, walk. To amass the bases loaded with 2 outs. But here is Johnny Rodriguez, bases loaded. And here comes Dean Trainer out of the first base dugout. Talk with Jack Sand. Johnny Rodriguez, he bats from the left side, so it will be another lefty-lefty matchup. Rodriguez had the 2-run homer into right field last time up. Now past and approaching last light. Just a quick conversation between the manager and Jack Sand. We're not even in the late innings. How is this one going to pan out? Pompey at first. Will Rogers second. Caden Peterson at third. Jack Sand will remain in the ballgame. Lefty-lefty matchup. Will Jack Sand go to that slider? We saw him use it against Jack Holman. Ended up clipping Jack, but he leaned into it. They did not give him first base. Well, here's the first pitch. And Rodriguez sees a fastball down the middle. Momentarily in and out. The glove of Parker Goff. Ball 1. Did miss a fraction low. But Rodriguez, 2 hits today. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Rodriguez sees an off speed, just clips the edge of the zone. 1-1. It's cooled off a lot since the first pitch, but Santa Barbara trying to regain the lead. Bases loaded. 2 outs. 1-1 pitch to Johnny Rodriguez. This one's grounded over to the shortstop. Ardois flips it to the second baseman for the force out at second base. So the Santa Barbara Foresters had the bases loaded, unable to convert. TJ Pompey, a force out victim at second base for the 3rd out, with Rodriguez grounding out that ball to the shortstop, Ardois. That's how the eventful top half of the 6th inning will come to a close. We head to the bottom of the inning, tied at 5.
During this time of record market highs and gradual economic recovery, it's essential you have someone you can trust. For 10 consecutive years, the Santa Barbara News Press Reader's Choice Poll has awarded Tremblay Financial Services recognition for the financial guidance they provide their clients. Tremblay Financial Advisors continually educate their clients with new options and financial planning tailored fit to you. For more information or an appointment, call 569-1982 or log on to tremblayfinancial.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Centaurus Financial Inc., member FINRA and SIPC, a registered investment advisor. Tremblay Financial Services and Centaurus Financial are not affiliated companies. Investing involves risk, including potential loss of principal. No investment strategy can guarantee a profit or protect against a loss in periods of declining values.
Bottom of the 6th inning, the Santa Barbara Foresters and the SLO Blues tied at 5. And we do have confirmation. We saw Steve Shuck having some aggressive words with one of the third base umpires. We have confirmation Steve Shuck was tossed out of the ballgame. We did not see the umpire do it, but Steve Shuck tossed out of the ballgame. Second ejection of the 6th inning, with Jake Fields remaining on the hill. He's going to face 9, 1, and 2 here in the bottom of the 6th. First pitch. Swinging is Gavin Constantine, pops up and over the first base dugout for strike number 1. So 2 ejections in the top half of the 6th. Santa Barbara had the bases loaded, came up empty. Tied at 5, now bottom of the 6th. Coach Aggs, the bench coach, and the catching coach now will serve as the third base coach for Santa Barbara moving forward. Saw Diego Ramos tossing, even Shea went as well, but Jake Fields, who entered in the ballgame in the middle of the 5th for Ty Zarodnik, remains on the hill, facing 9-1-2. Here's the 0-1 offering to Gavin Constantine, and Constantine bats from the right side, takes a fastball for a strike, 0-2. Constantine today a ground out to short and a walk. What a season finale this one is going to be shaping up to be. The 0-2 pitch, Constantine sees it away. On the slider from Jake Fields, 1-2. Top of the order will be on deck, Ethan Royal. Royals had himself a nice day reaching base a couple times, but here's the 1-2 pitch. Constantine lays off the slider away, evens the count at 2. Temperature dropping here in SLO. The first time really some of these night games for Santa Barbara, with the temperatures cooling off. It's been still pretty toasty most night games. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Constantine jammed. Did he go? Nearly gets hit, but he was able to lay off and check his swing. It's going to be 3-2. It's a big batter for Jake Fields, trying to take care of the 9-hole hitter with the top of the order on deck in this tied ball game. Here's a 3-2 pitch, and it finds the lower half of the zone. Fields strikes out Gavin Constantine. Constantine not happy. He thought he had first base. The fastball low in the zone gets called strike 3, and Constantine goes down looking. Second K of the day for Jake Fields. It's going to bring around the top of the order, but a massive first out for Santa Barbara, retiring the 9-hole hitter. Here's Ethan Royal, who bats from the right side. You're looking around the horizon, still a nice definition of the rolling hills just in the horizon between the darkening blue sky and black hills in the distance. First pitch now to Royal, and the off-speed pitch misses high, ball 1. We're in the bottom of the 6th, tied at 5. 1 away, and the base is clear for the SLO Blues. Top half of this inning, very eventful, a pair of ejections. 1 for SLO, 1 for Santa Barbara. 1-0 pitch. And Royal swinging away on the fastball, 1-1. He couldn't catch up to it. Ball and a strike. Relief pitcher Sean Cannon, after 2 pitches that nearly clipped Caden Peterson, ejected Steve Shuck. Third base coach tossed. Here's the 1-1. Fastball just misses the lower corner for ball 2 to Ethan Royal. Haven't even hit the late innings here in SLO. With 1 out, bases clear. 2-1 pitch to Royal, swing and a miss on the fastball, 2-2. Jake Fields done his best coming into this ball game on the back end. The Sturs don't have as many arms as they had a week ago. 2-2 pitch. Royal just taps it to the screen behind home plate to the right of the dish, 2-2. Royal today a pop-up to second. Base hit to right. Rolled into a fielder's choice, but did bring home a run. Jake Fields looking for the second out here in bottom of the 6th. 2-2 pitch. Ethan Royal sees a slider in, full count. Jake Fields using the entire count here in the 6th. Had a full count against Constantine. Got the call on a low fastball. Or called strike 3. 1 out, payoff pitch. Royal fights it off over the bullpen right side of the ballpark. 3-2. Santa Barbara, final matchup against the SLO Blues. Final game on the road of the regular season. Jake Fields, can he fire another strike? Here's a 3-2 pitch to Royal, and Royal rolls this one over to TJ Pompey at short. This is a tough play. He fields it behind second base, but makes the play and the throw in time. TJ Pompey, what an effort. Out of range all the way behind second base. That's where he scooped up that baseball, and the throw in time to retire Ethan Royal. Real tough play, but he makes it happen. 2 down. So here's Jake Hicksonbaugh. Stands in, 2 gone, bases clear. Having a 1-for-3 day, had a single in a shallow right field in the third. First pitch now to Hicksonbaugh. Hicksonbaugh swinging away, fouls it back to the net and to the left of the dish. Strike number 1. Tied game at 5. Santa Barbara had 2 runs in the third, a run in the fourth, and 2 in the fifth to amass their 5. SLO had 3 in the fourth and 2 in the fifth to put up their 5 runs. Here's the 0-1 to Hicksonbaugh, and Hicksonbaugh sees an off-speed pitch, just clips the corner, 0-2. Good delivery by Jake. Fields remaining in this ball game, has retired the first 2 he has faced in the 6th. Here comes the 0-2 pitch, and this ball, fastball misses high, ball 1. That one was upstairs near the chin strap of Hicksonbaugh, not as close as some of the other ones, but still up there, and the fans letting the umpires hear it. 1-2 pitch to Jake Hicksonbaugh. Wind up, and the pitch, the 1-2 check swing, but called strike 3. The fastball right down the chute. Jake Hicksonbaugh goes down looking, and a 1-2-3 inning in the 6th. We head to the late innings. 7th we go, tied at 5.
Thanks for listening. But how would you like to read about your favorite team? Hi, this is Jim Buckley, and I'm proud to announce the publication of our first book about the Foresters, Stir It Up. The story of America's most successful summer baseball team is out now. 100% of the profits from this new book will benefit the Hugs for Cubs. You can buy one at the ballpark or online. Visit sbforesters.org for a direct link, or look us up on bookbaby.com. You can also pick up a copy locally at the Mesa Bookstore or Chaucer's or the Tecolote Bookshop. Stir It Up includes a complete history of the team from the founding by Bob Townsend in 1991 through all 10 national championships under Bill Pintard. You'll hear again from great Foresters players, read about the Hugs for Cubs, check out our all-time records, and much more. Help the Hugs and read Stir It Up. More info at sbforesters.org.
Need a new copier for your office? Coastal Copy is the original copier dealer in the Tri-Counties and your authorized Kyocera dealer, offering complete sales, service, and supplies on a full line of Kyocera Task Alpha digital MFPs. And thanks to the latest in Kyocera mobile and cloud technology, we offer Kyocera's mobile print app, which allows you to access documents through your smartphone or tablet. Call us today to schedule your free assessment and quote.
You'll see a difference because we go the distance.
Call 1-800-995-8835.
We're Tammy and Scott from Draftsman Ale Works here in Goleta, California.
For me, making beer is a dream come true. Seeing the community come together in our brewery is a fantastic feeling.
Community West Bank has trusted and believed in us from the very beginning.
Not only have they helped us by getting to where we are today, but they're helping us lay a path for where we want to go.
We count on them.
The community counts on Draftsman Ale Works to bring people together. We're glad they count on us. Community West Bank, member FDIC.
Top half of the 7th inning tied at 5. Pitching change for the SLO Blues. Matthew Gonzalez, the right-hander, will enter the ballgame for Jack Sand. So Jake Fields, bottom half of the 6th, have a 1-2-3 inning as the first 3-up, 3-down inning since the first. Crazy middle half to this ball game. Daniel Patterson, bottom of the order, will be up. First pitch to Patty, and this one's turned into left field. That's hit very well. Jariah Lewis back at the wall, and that ball is gone. Daniel Patterson, a solo shot to kick off the 7th inning. Santa Barbara now leads 6-5. Patterson, first homer of the year. Hello from Daniel Patterson, second hit of the day. Puts the Stirs on top 6-5. A line drive into left to start the outing for Matthew Gonzalez. One pitch and a home run. And the first pitch hits Andrew Simo, the next batter. And Simo is going to first base. And Gonzalez, after giving up the home run, quickly the first pitch to Simo clips him. And the home plate umpire, fraction down the third base line, looking at the third base coach, Coach Aggs, who took over for Steve Shook, who was already tossed from this ball game. So the home run by Patterson to make it a 6-5 game. First pitch to Andrew Simo. It hits him to put him aboard. But now here's D. Kennedy out of the 9 spot. Gonzalez struggling to start his outing in relief. First pitch. Kennedy on a breaking ball into center field. Ethan Royal slides over, makes the squeeze in center field. Kennedy is retired on the line out to center, 1 away. What a start to the 7th inning. Daniel Patterson, the solo shot in the left field. Put Santa Barbara back out on top. Simo stands in. First pitch gets drilled. D. Kennedy sees one pitch, sends it into, lines into center field for the first out. Now the top of the order, Caden Peterson. Stirs now lead 6-5. First pitch to Caden. Breaking ball drops in for strike number 1. And Peterson was part of that debacle in the last inning. The first 2 pitches from Sean Cannon nearly hit him, and one of them nearly clipped the chin. Sean Cannon was tossed. Here's the 0-1. Big old hack foul back towards the first base on deck circle for strike 2. That led to the marathon top half of the 6th inning for Matthew Gonzalez. 1 away, Andrew Simo is at first. Andrew today has reached base 3 times. It works quick. Here's the 0-2 to Caden Peterson, reaching for it, and he went around. He is retired with first base occupied. Momentarily got away from Parker Goff. Caden Peterson is sat down. And a wicked quick pace from Matthew Gonzalez on the hill. Does not waste any time. He strikes out Caden Peterson on a slider. 2 gone. 6-5 our score. Here's Jack Bollinger to hit for the second time, who entered for Jonas Sebring. Bolly hits from the left side. Man at first, 2 gone. First pitch, Bollinger fastball away. 1-0. Matthew Gonzalez, the right-hander. Man at first, 1-0 pitch to Bollinger, and it's well away again. 2 fastballs missing the same spot. Belt high, a couple inches off the plate. 2-0. Santa Barbara took the lead early. It's been seesawing back and forth. Here's the 2-0 pitch to Bollinger, and Bollinger sees a fastball high. That is ball 3. It's been interesting early outing here for Matthew Gonzalez. Patterson, first pitch, home run in the left field. First pitch hits Andrew Simo, and now a 3-0 count with 2 outs to Bollinger, and the pitch will clip the corner on an off-speed 3-1. Action in both bullpens. Check that just in Santa Barbara's bullpen currently. It's 3-1 the count. Here's a pitch to Jack Bollinger, and Bollinger sees ball 4 away, and that's going to put Bolly aboard for the first time. A 2-out walk to Bollinger to bring up Will Rogers. That moves Andrew Simo to second, puts him in scoring position. It is 6-5 our score. Can Will Rogers make it 7-5 with a base hit to score Andrew Simo? Approaching 9 o'clock local time, just in the top half of the 7th inning. First pitch was a little bit after 6 o'clock Pacific time. Here's Will Rogers, 2 aboard, 2 outs. Righty-righty matchup, first pitch, and Rogers sees the ball, but it bounces away from Parker Goff. It bounces all the way over to the first base on deck circle, advancing both base runners into scoring position. Weekly scored as a passed ball, but Bollinger to second, Andrew Simo to third. This makes this AB that much more important for Will Rogers. 2 in scoring position in a 1-run game. It's likely only going to get tighter going in the last couple innings. We're in the top of the 7th, 2 gone. Here's the 1-0 pitch to Will, and Rogers sees a slider down the dirt. Good keep this time from Goff, 2-0. Matthew Gonzalez to start off this inning. He's going at light speed on the hill. Feels like it's slowed down. He's slowed down his tempo and rhythm just a fraction. 2-0 pitch to Will, and Rogers sees a fastball. That misses high. Ball 3, did not miss by much. And Will today, line out to center, ground out back to the hill. He was hit, he scored a run, worked a walk last time up. He's ahead 3-0. Jack Holman will be next. 2 in scoring position. 3-0 pitch, nearly clips Will Rogers. He shimmies back away from it. It's ball 4, the fastball missing in. Bases loaded for the 2nd consecutive inning for the Santa Barbara Foresters. They've had the bases loaded. They had it in the 2nd, in the 3rd, in the 6th, and now here in the 7th. Can they convert? Simo, he was hit. Bollinger worked a walk. He's now at second. Will Rogers works the 2nd walk of the inning. And here's Jack Holman. Bats from the left side. First pitch to Jack, and Holman swinging a miss. Strike 1. We saw Holman in the lefty-lefty matchup against Jack Sam lean into a couple pitches. He was actually hit twice, but was not given first base since he did not get out of the way. The 0-1 to Jack. Holman swinging a miss again on the off-speed pitch. 0-2. And the crowd getting behind Matthew Gonzalez. And Holman has got the most pop out of anyone in the lineup for the Sturs. The 0-2 pitch, and Holman will strike out on 3 pitches. Santa Barbara leave the bases loaded. Holman down on 3 strikes. We head to the bottom half of the 7th. Santa Barbara did get 1. Daniel Patterson had a leadoff home run. They lead 6-5 going to the home half of the 7th. Santa Barbara Airport has 5 airlines: American, Alaska, Delta Air, Southwest, and United, with 12 direct destinations from Santa Barbara to Atlanta, Dallas, Denver, Las Vegas, Oakland, Los Angeles, Salt Lake City, Portland, San Francisco, Phoenix, Seattle, and Sacramento. With 23 daily departures from Santa Barbara, SBA's newest daily service on Delta Airlines to Atlanta and Salt Lake City can ensure that you can get anywhere in the world in just one stop. SBA is proud to join over 200 airports around the world in the Hidden Disabilities Sunflower Program. Passengers with a disability can opt into the program, and in doing so, trained staff at SBA will be there to provide additional level of customer service. You can learn more at www.flysba.com. Once again, you can learn more and book your flights today from Santa Barbara at www.flysba.com.
It's out of here. It's tough to tell whether that's another Foresters home run or one of the many flights going out of the Santa Barbara Airport. With 22 daily departures and 11 direct destinations, including Chicago, Dallas, Las Vegas, San Diego, and Seattle, there's no need to drive and fly when you can take off local at the Santa Barbara Airport. Prepare for a departure from the usual travel experience. Choose SBA and depart differently. A proud partner of the Santa Barbara Foresters.
Santa Barbara Foresters have regained the lead. This seesaw of a battle. Crazy ball game approaching 9 o'clock local time. We saw Daniel Patterson lead off the last inning with a solo shot at home run brought to us by Santa Barbara Airport. We're sponsoring that Daniel Patterson home run. You can always get home with Santa Barbara Airport. Jake Fields remains on the hill. He entered in the middle of the 5th inning at a 1-2-3-6, and he's going to face 3-4-5, the big bats, or the slow blues, Tollerman, Witten, and Jariah Lewis. 6-5 hour score, bottom of 7. Season finale between these two teams. The slow blues have won 4 out of the 7 meetings so far this season. Pair of ejections, 1 for Santa Barbara, 1 for SLO. The season finale between two teams that have a long rivalry. But Jake Fields remains on the bump. Saw a little discussion between Bill Pintar and our home plate umpire. Everything's squared away. It will be Zach Tollerman to lead things off, bottom of 7. Sturs lead by 1. Tollerman a base hit and a right. Ground into a double play and struck out looking. His first look at Jake Fields. So Fields, from the first base side of the hill, winds up the first pitch of the 7th. First pitch to Tollerman, and the fastball finds the lower half of the zone for a strike, 0-1. 6-5 our score, Santa Barbara lead, bottom of 7. Leadoff man Tollerman. Here's the 0-1 pitch to Jake Fields. I should say from Jake Fields, popped up into right, tracking back as Caden Peterson gets out under it and makes the squeeze. 2 pitches to retire Zach Tollerman. The fly out into right, 1 away. You look to our right, towards the Central Coast, just a little bit of an outline, bit of a faint orange haze on the horizon, a little bit of an outline of the choppy hillside to our right. Now, clock ticking, 9 o'clock local time. First pitch was a little bit after 6 o'clock Pacific time, bottom of the 7th inning. In this game, the middle innings just grinded along. A lot of runs being scored, couple of ejections. First pitch now to Cooper Witten. Witten sees a slider for a strike, clips the corner, 0-1. Santa Barbara will return home tomorrow for the final 2 home games of the regular season. The 0-1 to Cooper Witten, and the fastball missing down. Check that. Actually clips the lower half portion of the zone, 0-2. Now Cooper Witten looks like having a discussion between him and Simo, the catcher, and the batter. Having a little chit-chat, so to speak, between the batter and the catcher. And here comes Dean Traynor at the first base dugout. Dean Traynor getting an explanation from our home plate umpire. The first 2 pitches, honestly, borderline calls, it looks like, or it looked like in the first 2 pitches. Fields gets the calls for strikes. Cooper Witten, who's 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. Needs to protect the plate, bases clear, 1 out, bottom of 7. Sturs lead 6-5. The 0-2 pitch to Cooper Witten, and Witten will strike out. 3 pitches. He is retired. 2 down in the 7th. And you feel like the home plate umpire expanding the zone a little bit here now in the late innings. And here's Jariah Lewis. 0 for 1, but has worked 2 walks and scored twice. That was in the 4th and 5th innings. And Jake Fields has now retired 5 straight. Haven't been able to say that all day long. Base runners galore for both teams. Santa Barbara have had the bases loaded in 4 different innings. Now 2 gone, bases clear. First pitch to the left-handed batter. Lewis sees a fastball down, ball 1. Still a nice crowd in attendance. It's thinned out a little bit. A game that has been trekking on sure has been eventful. Jariah Lewis sees the 1-0 pitch from Jake Fields, and that is down on a fastball, 2-0. For the Forsters in the 8th, they're going to have TJ Pompey, Johnny Rodriguez, Daniel Patterson, 5, 6, 7, due up. Jake Fields looking to take care of business right here against Jariah Lewis. 2 gone, bases clear. 2-0 pitch, and Lewis swinging away on the fastball. Couldn't catch up to it, 2-1. For Santa Barbara, entering today a half game behind the Conejo Oaks after the loss yesterday to the SLO Blues. And Fields, here's the 2-1 offering to Lewis, and Lewis sees a fastball high, ball 3. Jake Fields retiring the last 5 straight. Looking for another one right here. But he's behind in the count, need to fire a strike. 3-1 pitch, and Jariah Lewis, big old rip on the fastball, couldn't catch up to it. 3-2. You look around the league, Conejo Oaks getting blown out by the Arroyo Seco Saints. 16-4 now the score, Arroyo on top. But the count now full between Jariah Lewis and Jake Fields. Here's the pitch. Jariah Lewis will strike out. Another fastball from Jake Fields, and he is animated. 3 up, 3 down for the second consecutive inning for Jake. Great stuff out of the bullpen. We head to the 8th. Sturs lead by 1.
When it comes to your office equipment needs, call Coastal Copy. We're the largest independent office equipment dealership in the Tri-Counties, and as your locally owned authorized Savin dealer, Coastal Copy offers complete sales, service, and supplies on a full line of Savin digital copiers and MFPs, Savin color printers, digital duplicators, Savin wide format systems, digital presses, document management solutions, and more. That's Coastal Copy.
You'll see a difference because we go the distance.
Call 1-800-995-8835.
I'm Eric Onen, CEO and Managing Director of Santa Barbara Airbus. Santa Barbara Airbus is all about the customer experience. Having your customers count on you. It's because people recognize that you're there when you need them. One of the early challenges for our business was equipment financing. Community West Bank has always found a way for the terms and conditions to work for us and for them. I count on Community West Bank.
The community counts on Santa Barbara Airbus to keep them moving. We're glad they count on us. Community West Bank, member FDIC.
Eighth inning from San Luis Obispo. TJ Pompey, Johnny Rodriguez, Daniel Patterson coming on up. Sturs lead 6-5. They entered a half game behind the Conejo Oaks, and it's safe to say with Conejo getting blown out by Arroyo, if Santa Barbara prevails tonight, they'll be back on top of the CCL South. Matthew Gonzalez remains on the hill. First pitch now to TJ Pompey, and TJ swinging a miss on the first pitch. On the fastball, 0-1. Again, the score between Conejo and Arroyo, 16-4. The Saints on top. The 0-1, TJ swinging a miss quickly down, 0-2. To start off this 8th inning. Matthew Gonzalez back to that quick tempo. He's lightning fast. Here comes the third pitch, the 0-2, and TJ Pompey sees a ball in. Change up, 1-2. TJ's been walked. RBI single, he struck out, and another walk so far today. The 1-2 pitch, and Pompey on the ground left side. This is a backhand by the third baseman. Constantine fields it, and the throw will be just in time to throw out TJ Pompey. That was a tough play from Constantine, the third baseman. Made it look easy. Pompey grounds out 5-3, 1 away in the 8th. It's going to bring up Johnny Rodriguez. 6-5 our score. Patterson had a leadoff home run. He will be scheduled in this inning. He will bat to follow Johnny. Matthew Gonzalez facing left-handed bat at Johnny. First pitch, Rodriguez in the air to right. Hickson ball, we'll see it bounce right in front of him. It falls, and a one-out knock for Johnny Rodriguez. That ball was hit well, but just coasting over the heads of the infielders and falls harmlessly in front of Jake Hickson ball. He had no play out in right field, made no attempt to even try to field that ball. And Johnny Rodriguez has his third hit of the day. He had a single in the second, 2-run homer in the 5th. Now a one-out knock in the 8th to bring up Daniel Patterson, feeling good. First pitch you saw, he left the yard from Gonzalez. Looks to take a bunt, but takes a strike as he pulls around. As he pulls back the bunt, gets signs from Coach Aggs, taking over for Steve Schucht on the third baseline, who got tossed in the 6th inning. Man at first, 1 out. There's the 0-1 pitch. Patterson not bunting this time, sees a fastball down, evens the count at 1. Patterson, before that home run, reached on an error. Also had a double in the right field, and the run scored. Rodriguez slowly inches out from first base. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Patterson sees a fastball in. Rodriguez, a late jump to second base, sliding in. And he is thrown out. The throw in time. Rodriguez had a late jump. It was a little bit of a bobble from Goff on the pitch. Rodriguez thrown out at second for the second out of the inning. 2 down. So Patterson, now with the bases clear, had a 2-1 count. Responsible for the run on the scoreboard to give the Sturs the lead. Here's the next pitch, and the slider misses down and away, 3-1. If he's able to reach, Andrew Simo will be next. Here's the 3-1 pitch, and Patterson, this one's up the middle, and that is a base hit for Daniel Patterson. Has his 3rd knock of the day. Keeps the line moving to bring up Andrew Simo. There's an interesting sequence in the 7th. Matthew Gonzalez took over to start the inning in that 7th frame. First pitch, Patterson left the yard. Next pitch, Andrew Simo was hit. Dempers were still flying. It seems like it settled down just a little bit on the field. Check back to Patty at first. He's in head first, sliding in, no problem. D. Kennedy would be next if Simo somehow able to reach. 6-5 our score, top of 8. First pitch now to Simo, and Andrew check swing, but he went around the zone. Couldn't lay off of it on the breaking ball from Gonzalez. 0-1. How is this one going to pan out? Jake Fields at 2, 1, 2, 3 innings. Great stuff out of the bullpen from Jake. And at first, 2 gone. Simo sees the 0-1 pitch, and the fastball misses away. Evens the count at 1. We are past 9 o'clock local time. We appreciate any of our listeners, Central Time Zones, even on the East Coast. A couple hours ahead. We appreciate you sticking with us. Another check back to Patterson at first. Oh, it's a late night for you over there, even early morning. Trying to stick around to see how this one finishes up. Santa Barbara trying to reclaim the top spot in the CCL South. Tie up the season series against the Blues. 1-1 pitch, runner goes, Patterson takes off. It's a ball down low. Patterson will slide into second base. That throw was errantly wide from the catcher, and the shortstop the second baseman, Brendan Comerford, did well. Almost laid out, flying over the body of Daniel Patterson, who was sliding in to try to grab that ball from going into the outfield. Ball is kept in the infield by the middle infielders, but Patty has a stolen bag. Now in scoring position, it's 2-1 count for Andrew Simo. He has reached base 3 times today. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Simo spits on the slider away, 3-1. Did pick up his first hit of the season in the 4th. RBI single in the right field. Score the lone run of the 4th inning. But 6-5 our score, and he's trying to drive in an insurance run in the top of the 8th inning. Matthew Gonzalez winds up the 3-1 pitch. Looks to second. Here's the offering. Simo on the ground. Left side's chopped over the head of the third base coach, Brian Aguilar. Full count. Simo is able to reach base for the 4th time. D. Kennedy will be next. 6-5 our score. Insurance run at second. Top of the 8th. Payoff pitch. Simo nearly gets hit. Would have been ball 4. He's trying to shimmy his feet back and shuffle, but he will reach base for the 4th time indeed for Andrew Simo, working the walk. He works a walk to bring up D. Kennedy out of the 9 spot. And whatever D does, looking towards the 9th inning, assuming you don't have a couple more batters in this inning alone, Peterson, Bollinger, Will Rogers, the lineup would turn over again in the 9th. So it's great stuff from Simo to keep the line moving for D. Kennedy. And, of course, Kennedy looking to drive in. The man at second, Daniel Patterson, to tack on Extra insurance run, 6-5 our score. 2 aboard, 2 out. First pitch, Kennedy sees a fastball down, ball 1. For Kennedy today, worked a walk, run scored, a sacrifice bunt, line out to left field, line out to center. Here's the 1-0 pitch, and Kennedy sees a fastball in. That's ball 2. Matthew Gonzalez getting a little wayward here in the 8th. Both bullpens at this point in the season battered. Trying to get consistency on the back end. Here's a 2-0. Kennedy sees a fastball. This time finds the zone down the middle, 2-1. The grass berm surrounding the seats here at Sinsheimer Stadium. Definitely thinned out now. D. Kennedy calling time with some confusion on the count with our home plate umpire. Count 2-1. Home plate umpire said it was 1-2. It's a miscue, and it is 2 balls and a strike for D. Kennedy. And it's second man at first, 2 outs. 2-1 pitch. Kennedy sees a breaking ball in there for a strike, 2-2. Can Kennedy come up clutch? Tack on an extra run. Top of the 8th. 2-2 pitch. Kennedy checks swing. Did he go? No, says our first base umpire. The ball momentarily away from Parker Goff down the first baseline, but is ball 3. Third base is open, and with 2 out, action pitch here for the base runners. Top of the order is on deck. 6-5 our score, Santa Barbara lead. Here's the 3-2 pitch. D. Kennedy will strike out. Fastball from Matthew Gonzalez inducing the swing. Kennedy strikes out for the first time today. We head to the bottom of the 8th. Sturs still lead 6-5.
Thanks for listening. But how would you like to read about your favorite team? Hi, this is Jim Buckley, and I'm proud to announce the publication of our first book about the Foresters, Stir It Up, the story of America's most successful summer baseball team, is out now. 100% of the profits from this new book will benefit the Hugs for Cubs. You can buy one at the ballpark or online. Visit sbforesters.org for a direct link, or look us up on bookbaby.com. You can also pick up a copy locally at the Mesa Bookstore or Chaucer's or the Tecolote Bookshop. Stir It Up includes a complete history of the team from the founding by Bob Townsend in 1991 through all 10 national championships under Bill Pintard. You'll hear again from great Foresters players, read about the Hugs for Cubs, check out our all-time records, and much more. Help the Hugs and read Stir It Up. More info at sbforesters.org.
Bottom of the 8th inning, Parker Goff, Brendan Comerford, Sam Ardois will be coming on up. 5, 6, check that 6, 7, and 8 for the SLO Blues. Jake Fields, wheeling and dealing, remains on the hill. The third man to be used today. Second man out of the bullpen. Fields entered in the 5th inning in a tight spot. Walked the first man, struck out the next man. Was able to record 2 outs in that 5th inning. But going back to that final out in the 5th inning, he has retired 6 straight. First pitch to Parker Goff. And Goff, the first pitch on a fastball, clips the corner, 0-1. And Jake Fields has been able to find his spots on all pitches, working very, very well. Trying to hold on to this 1-run lead. Here's the 0-1 pitch, and Goff swing and a miss on the off speed, 0-2. And Jake Fields in the last inning, just a pop up, I should say a fly out to the outfield, and then Cade 2. Against the leadoff man, Goff. He's ahead. I should say Fields is ahead, 0-2. Goff bats from the right side. Here's the 0-2 pitch, and Goff seeing off speed away, 1-2. Bottom of the 8th. SLO trying to tie up this game, maybe take the lead. Fields trying to hold the 6-5 advantage. Comerford will be next for the SLO Blues. Here's the 1-2 pitch to Parker Goff, and Goff will reach for it and push it out over the first base dugout, out of the entire complex. Remains 1-2. Santa Barbara trying to tie up the season series, regain the top spot in the CCL South with Conejo, getting blown out by Arroyo Seco. Goff, the leadoff man, bottom of 8. He's fouled off a couple. Here's the 1-2 pitch, and Goff will see a fastball away, 2-2. Brendan Comerford will be next, but Parker Goff had a check swing that ended up being a single in the second. He K'd and has worked a walk today. Here's the 2-2 pitch and a check swing, and that misses away, count full. Other arms available today if Jake Fields runs out of gas. Shea Went. Diego Ramos would likely be used in the late innings as well. Two right-handers. Here comes the payoff pitch to the leadoff man, Goff, and Goff will strike out chasing the high fastball. Jake Fields has struck out the last 3 he has faced. One away in the 8th. Jake Fields now struck out 6 in relief, and here comes Ryan Kramer out of the first base dugout to talk things over with Andrew Simo. The batter will be Brendan Comerford. The scheduled batter, not a pinch hitter. Ryan Kramer talked to him before the ball game about what he tries to do. Trying to patch together 27 outs with his pitching staff. Mason Cook ran into some trouble in the 4th, going 3 1/3. Tyus Rodnick entered. He ran into trouble in the 5th, and Fields has took over the reins and has been fully galloping. Bottom of 8, 6-5 our score. Santa Barbara lead thanks to Daniel Patterson. Solo shot to lead off the 7th inning to make it a 6-5 game. One away, bases clear. Comerford, who bats from the right side, sees the first pitch, reaches for it down the right field line, and it slices foul. That is strike 1. Slices completely out of play. Strike number 1. Comerford is struck out. RBI double in the left field. In the 4th, another K in the 5th. Jake Fields. Here's the 0-1 pitch to Comerford, and Comerford sees a high fastball. 1-1. That gets some murmurs from the crowd. Saw Sean Cannon, 2 high pitches. Caden Peterson in the 6th. After that second high pitch, he was tossed. Relief pitcher. 1-1 pitch now to Comerford, and Comerford swings right through another fastball, ball, and 2 strikes. Also in that inning, Santa Barbara Foresters had the bases loaded. Came up empty. Another ejection for Santa Barbara. Associate coaches got thrown out. Here's the 1-2 pitch now to Comerford, and Comerford flares it up. Pompey tries to track back the shortstop. It goes over his head. It's a 1-out knock for Comerford. And the SLO Blues have their first base runner since the 5th inning. Jake Fields has been unhittable since the 5th inning. Prior to that base hit, he retired 7 straight. Here's now Sam Ardois, who is 3 for 3. A double in the 2nd, base hit, also a run scored in the 4th. 2-run single in the 5th. Mainly been favoring right field. It's the opposite, the other way for Sam Ardois, who bats from the right side. First pitch, and Ardois sees a high fastball. 1-0. By the way, top of the order will be coming up. Top of the 9th for Santa Barbara. But Jake Fields, with the double play intact, Check back to the man at first. In safely is Comerford, feet first. Want to hold this one-run lead. The tying run now at first base for the SLO Blues. There's the 1-0 pitch. There's Ardois, sees a slider, but it's down 2-0. Gavin Constantine will be next for the SLO Blues. With Brendan Comerford, he's got 4 stolen bases on 5 attempts. 2-0 the count for Ardois, the 8-hole hitter. Fields now from the stretch, 2-0 pitch, and the fastball away, 3-0. Jake Fields has done so good in this ball game. Been untouchable until Brendan Comerford broke it up in the 8th. Comerford at first base slowly inches his way away from the first station. 3-0 pitch. Ardois will take a strike high in the zone. It's a fastball from Jake Fields. 3 balls and a strike. For Santa Barbara, they know what Sam Ardois has done today. 2 hits in the right field, 1 up the gut. He's done very well. Here's a 3-1 pitch, and that is ball 4, fastball missing high. That puts 2 aboard, and that puts the go-ahead run now at first base. And at this point, here comes Bill Pintard with Jake Fields. His day likely complete. Saw Diego Ramos warming in the pen along with Shea Went. Likely be Diego Ramos to enter this ball game, but Shea Went has done so well bridging the gap here after the starter was pulled after 3 1/3. Ty Zoronik ran into some trouble in the 5th. Jake Fields retired 7 straight between the 6th, 7th, the first man in the 8th. Be surprised to see Jake Fields remain in this game with the go-ahead run now at first base. Might be a stall tactic to make sure Ramos is ready, assuming it is Diego. And there will be a new arm coming out of the bullpen for Santa Barbara. New arm coming in. And it looks like it is Ramos. And it will be Ramos. We will step away. Jake Fields, his day complete. What an effort in relief. Tying run now at second. Go-ahead run at first. 1 away in the bottom of the 8th. Ramos takes the hill. We'll be right back.
I'm Eric Onen, CEO and Managing Director of Santa Barbara Airbus. Santa Barbara Airbus is all about the customer experience. Having your customers count on you. It's because people recognize that you're there when you need them. One of the early challenges for our business was equipment financing. Community West Bank has always found a way for the terms and conditions to work for us and for them. I count on Community West Bank.
The community counts on Santa Barbara Airbus to keep them moving. We're glad they count on us. Community West Bank, member FDIC.
When it comes to your office equipment needs, call Coastal Copy. We're the largest independent office equipment dealership in the Tri-Counties, and as your locally owned authorized Savin dealer, Coastal Copy offers complete sales, service, and supplies on a full line of Savin digital copiers and MFPs, Savin color printers, digital duplicators, Savin wide format systems, digital presses, document management solutions, and more. That's Coastal Copy.
You'll see a difference because we go the distance.
Call 1-800-995-8835.
We're Tammy and Scott from Draftsman Ale Works here in Goleta, California.
For me, making beer is a dream come true. Seeing the community come together in our brewery is a fantastic feeling.
Community West Bank has trusted and believed in us from the very beginning.
Not only have they helped us by getting to where we are today, but they're helping us lay a path for where we want to go.
We count on them.
The community counts on Draftsman Ale Works to bring people together. We're glad they count on us. Community West Bank, member FDIC.
The pitch and change for Santa Barbara in the bottom of the 8th, holding on to a 1-run lead, 6-5, last of 8. Brendan Comerford had a 1-out knock off Jake Fields. Sam Ardois works a walk, put man at second, man at first, tying run at first, go-ahead run at first base for the SLO Blues. Diego Ramos will take over, and for Diego, it's going to be his 10th appearance on the hill. He has pitched 16 innings, Struck out 16, a 1.13 ERA. With Will Rogers being shut down in terms of pitching, Will's still going to be with the team offensively and defensively, but Diego Ramos taking over that high leverage role, closer situation, save situations, and Diego Ramos entering this ball game tying run at second. He's going to face the 9-hole hitter Gavin Constantine, who is a ground out to short. He's been walked and struck out. The objective here against the 9-hole hitter, get the second out, then face Ethan Royal, top of the order with 2 outs. Maybe even able to turn 2, man at first base. Ramos looks to second. First pitch, the right-handed batter of Constantine. First pitch misses away on the fastball, 1-0. Let's not forget what Jake Fields did in this ballgame for Santa Barbara. 3 innings, gave up 2 hits. Fantastic work from Jake Fields in this ballgame to give his team a chance. Look back to second. 1-0 pitch. Constantine sees a slider. That is down. Ball 2. Diego Ramos now in this ballgame. Likely his game to see out. 2-0 pitch. Constantine sees a high fastball. That is ball 3. Comerford at second. Artois at first. 3 balls out of the bullpen for Diego Ramos. Third base open. He needs to fire a strike, especially with the top of the order on deck. Need to take care of the 9 spot. 3-0 pitch. Constantine takes a strike on a fastball. 3-1. And again, Santa Barbara going to have the top of the order scheduled for the 9th. But what situation will they be batting in? Will they have the lead? Will it be tied? Will they be trailing? 3-1. Constantine will see ball 4. Fastball misses in. Bases will be loaded. Tying run now at third. Go-ahead run in scoring position at second. 2 consecutive walks given up by Santa Barbara pitching to the 8 and 9-hole hitters. Here comes Ethan Royal, top of the order. With the bases loaded. Ground ball to try to end this inning. Take his team to the 9th, leading 6-5. But that lead in jeopardy. Ethan Royal today is 1 for 4. He has brought in 1 run. First pitch, fastball misses down and in. Ball 2. Ramos struggling to find the zone. Not as a hostile environment as it was earlier on. The crowd has thinned out, but still a nice showing for Slow Blues fans still in attendance here. There's the 1-0 pitch, and the slider will work its way in there. 1-1. Corner infielders playing in, middle infielders playing at double play depth. Bases loaded, tying run at third, go-ahead run at second. 1-1 pitch, and this one is down. Andrew Simo, good slide to his right. That is ball 2. For Diego Ramos, he's in that role, the high leverage situation, come in late in games. There is action in the bullpen, but ideally, you want to have Diego take care of business and not go to anyone else. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Royal will take a strike on the slider from Diego. 2-2, needing to retire Ethan Royal. The corner infielders playing in. Shea Went is warming in the bullpen. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Royal check swing. Did he go? No, he did not. Just able to lay off the high fastball. Full count. Nowhere to put him. A ball. It's going to be a tied game, a strike. Be a huge second out for Santa Barbara. They'll still be leading 6-5. Ramos needs to find the strike zone to keep it a 1-run game. Payoff pitch. Royal will work a walk. Game's tied. Ethan Royal walks in a run. We are tied at 6. Comerford scores from third. That puts the go-ahead run at third base. Still only a single out. Ardois to third, Constantine to second. And that is 3 consecutive walks given up by Santa Barbara pitching. Ramos out of the bullpen has walked 2. Here's Jake Hicksonbaugh, 1 for 4. First pitch, Hicksonbaugh flares it up into left field. That ball will fall. It's a base hit. 1 run in. The play at the plate. The runner is coming home. There's going to be a play. No throw from the pitcher. 2 runs in. And SLO now lead by 2 here in the 8th. (8-6) the score, and the SLO Blues have now taken the lead in the bottom of the 8th. Ardois scores. Gavin Constantine from second comes in to score, and Jake Hicksonbaugh has one of those flare singles that we saw all game long, especially early, to drive in a pair. 8-6 now our score, and here comes Bill Pintard out of the third base dugout. And you look at the scorecard, the last 5 men have all reached base for the SLO Blues, and Diego Ramos, his day will be complete. Bill Pintard going to the bullpen. We will have another pitching change, but the SLO Blues doing damage here in the 8th. They now lead 8-6 over Santa Barbara. Shea Went enters for the Santa Barbara Foresters out of the bullpen. SLO Blues have put up 3 runs in the 8th inning. The last 5 men have all reached base, but the story of this one, when you really look at it, all of the men reaching base. For Santa Barbara, they've worked 12 walks given up by SLO Blues pitching, and for Santa Barbara, they've given up 8 walks to the SLO Blues, and 3 walks in this 8th inning, and critical walks. The last 4 men all reaching base. Jake Field started off this inning. Diego Ramos could not record an out. He faced 3 batters. Now enter Shea Went. Ethan Royal had that RBI walk. He's at second. Jake Hicksonbaugh, that flare single into left field to bring in a pair of runs at first. And Santa Barbara, we mentioned it, what was going to be the situation going to the 8th? Would they have the lead? Would it be tied? Would they be trailing? Answer is, will they be trailing? And now the question is, by how much? It will be the top of the order scheduled, but still only a single out in the inning. Zach Tollerman will be the batter. Need to get the second out right here. Hold the runners if at all possible. Leave a double play intact and give yourself a chance to tie it in the 9th. Tollerman bats from the right side, and the right-hander Shea went out of the bullpen for Diego Ramos. 8-6 to score. Blues now lead. Couple looks back to second. First pitch. Tollerman swing and a miss on the first offering. The off-speed from Shea, 0-1. The SLO Blues, the first 7 meetings, have bested the Foresters 4 out of those 7 times. Now lead by 2 late here in SLO. Couple looks back again from Shea to second. 0-1 pitch, well away, evens the count at 1. Tollerman, base hit into right in the first, ground into a double play. Cade looking, a fly out to right last time up. Went looking for the second out right here. Here's the 1-1 pitch to Tollerman. Couple looks back again to second base. Here's the offering, and this one's down over the first base dugout. Actually into the netting just on top of the dugout for a massive strike number 2. And even though the crowd has definitely thinned out, diehard fans still in attendance here, making an impact on this ball game, on those batted balls. But the 1-2 pitch will have to wait. Shea Wentz steps off. Just keeping very close tabs on Ethan Royal down at second. Needing to retire Tollerman, or at least get the second out right here. Couple looks back again to second. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Tollerman sees a breaking ball down. Evens the count at 2. 9:40 local time. Relatively seamless first couple innings, but the middle innings grinding the cogs in the middle half of this game. But here's the 2-2 pitch. Tollerman, runners going. This one's on the ground. Here's TJ Pompey. Can they get 2? Do they get one at second? No, but they do get one at first. The runners were on the move, and that eliminated the double play. TJ Pompey would have been able to turn 2 with D. Kennedy. But with that early jump, Jake Hicksonball is just able to beat out the throw to second base. But Tollerman will ground out for the second out. So it is a massive second out. It would have been a double play, but the runners took off early on the double steal. And Tollerman, it will ground out for the second out. So here's Cooper Witten. Now stands in 2 in scoring position, 8-6 the score, Blues on top. First pitch to Witten, off speed misses high. That is ball 1. Trying to maintain a 2-run deficit going to the last inning. And Shea Went do that. 2 in scoring position, 2 out. 1-0 pitch, Witten sees a breaking ball away. That is ball 2. 3 runs in the 8th, and 3 different pitchers have been on the hill in this inning. Field started it off, Ramos came in, and then Shea Went. Went winds up the 2-0 pitch. Here it is, and that is ball 3 down. First base is open. Jariah Lewis will be on deck, and for Cooper Witten, the designated hitter today, he's got the most pop in the lineup by far. Really, if you walk him or send him to first base, it might not be a bad thing. Here's a 3-0 pitch, and that fastball just clips the corner. 3-1. Santa Barbara, keep it a 2-run game. Give the offense a chance. Cooper Witten reached base once today when he worked a walk. 3-1 pitch. Witten swing and a miss on the fastball, full count. Shea Went trying to take care of business right here against Cooper Witten. Final road game of the year for Santa Barbara. Final matchup against their rival. 2 in scoring position, 2 out. Here is the payoff pitch. Witten will spray over the first base dugout. We will do it again. Shea Went takes a moment along with Cooper Witten. At third base is Ethan Royal. Jake Hicksonball was the hero to give his team the lead. 2 RBI single at second. 2 outs. Went looking for the K. 3-2 pitch. This one's popped up over the press box and out of the property. Behind us, it remains 3-2. This inning similar to the 6th inning. That 6th inning, we saw a pair of ejections, one for each team. For Santa Barbara, currently trailing by 2. Shea Wint, big battle here. This is going to be the 8th pitch of the at-bat between Witten and Went. Here's the 3-2 again. Witten will foul it back off the mask of Andrew Simo. The battle moves along. 8 pitches between these two. And this AB really encapsulates this entire game. A fight back and forth. The majority of the runs scored in the 4th and 5th innings between these two teams. The Blues faithful are still in attendance, giving all their energy over to Cooper Witten. This will be the 9th pitch of the AB. First base still remains unoccupied. Jariah Lewis would be next. 8-6 the score, with the Blues putting up 3 runs in the 8th. Santa Barbara trying to maintain a 2-run deficit heading to the last. 2 outs. Yet another 3-2 pitch. Here it is. Witten on the ground, left side. Drifting over is Daniel Patterson. He fields it from third base, and the throw will be in time to retire Cooper Witten. Good play from Patterson at third, ranging to his left. Makes the play. And the Sturs are indeed headed to the 9th inning. They trail by 2. Peterson, Bollinger, Rogers next.
Thanks for listening. But how would you like to read about your favorite team? Hi, this is Jim Buckley, and I'm proud to announce the publication of our first book about the Foresters, Stir It Up, the story of America's most successful summer baseball team, is out now. 100% of the profits from this new book will benefit the Hugs for Cubs. You can buy one at the ballpark or online. Visit sbforesters.org for a direct link, or look us up on bookbaby.com. You can also pick up a copy locally at the Mesa Bookstore or Chaucer's or the Tecolote Bookshop. Stir It Up includes a complete history of the team from the founding by Bob Townsend in 1991 through all 10 national championships under Bill Pintard. You'll hear again from great Foresters players, read about the Hugs for Cubs, check out our all-time records, and much more. Help the Hugs and read Stir It Up. More info at sbforesters.org.
Here we go, top of the 9th. Caden Peterson, Jack Bollinger, Will Rogers. Top 3 will face Matthew Gonzalez. Gonzalez remains on the hill. First pitch to Peterson. And the breaking ball misses away to the right-handed bat of Caden. 1-0. Bollinger will hit. He entered for Sebring defensively. Here's the 1-0 pitch already. Peterson on the ground. This ball is chopped over to the shortstop. One hopper Ardois. The throw will be in time. That ball looked like it might have enough steam to squirt past the shortstop into center field, but Peterson on the pitch. Chops over to Sam Ardois. Fields off a couple hops. Peterson grounds out 6-3, and Santa Barbara down to their final 2 outs, trailing by 2. 8-6 our score. Santa Barbara needing base runners. If they can get a man aboard, bring the tying run to the plate. Here's Jack Bollinger, bats from the left side. First pitch. And Bollinger will take fastball high, ball number 1. Bollinger has K'd and walked since entering for Jonas Sebring in center field. There's the 1-0 pitch. And Bollinger fouls it back directly behind home plate, 1-1. Santa Barbara, what they're playing for right here. Trying to tie up the season series against their rival. Trying to move to a top spot in the CCL South. 1-1 pitch. And it breaking ball will miss down, ball 2. Will Rogers will be on deck. Matthew Gonzalez has been in on the hill since the 7th. 2-1 pitch, and Bollinger sees a breaking ball away and down. That is ball 3. Santa Barbara bring the tying run to the plate. They've had 2 homers today. But now the air is much heavier, approaching 10 o'clock local time. 3-1 pitch. Bollinger swinging away. This is a foul ball down the third baseline. Full count. That ball was bouncing and motoring its way down. Gavin Constantine, no play at third. Bollinger needing to get on base. Stars have 2 outs to play with. Matthew Gonzalez has been moving very quickly on the hill. With 1 out, top of the 9th, Stars trail by 2, needing base runners. 3-2 pitch. Bollinger in the left center field. That ball will fall. That is a base hit for Jack Bollinger. Clutch hitting from Jack. With 1 out, has his first hit of the day. That's going to bring up Will Rogers, the tying run to the plate for Santa Barbara. Will Rogers has had a productive day. He has not recorded a hit, but the last 3 times he has stood in, he was hit. He's worked 2 walks, and he has also scored a run. Will representing the tying run at the plate. Can Will find some magic offensively? We've seen him do it close down games on the hill. He stands in representing the tying run. First pitch, Rogers will take a slider for strike number 1. Bollinger, who is at first, slowly inches his way off of the first base bag. Santa Barbara down on their final 2 outs, trailing by 2. Gonzalez, the 0-1 pitch. Rogers, big old hack. Nothing and 2, chasing the high fastball, trying to tie the game. Jack Holman will be next. The bats you want to have up in this situation. Holman will be a left-handed batter as well, but now Rogers need to protect the plate. Trying to put the tying run on base. If he's able to put something and poke something in play. The 0-2 pitch to Will. Rogers reaches for it, slicing its way out of play down the right field line and over the bullpen. That houses the pitchers for the SLO Blues. Not too many left down in that bullpen. Remains no balls, 2 strikes. Consecutive sliders for Matt Gonzalez. Bollinger had a clutch single on a full count in the left center field. But Will Rogers at the dish represents the tying run. 2-run game. The 0-2 pitch to Will. Rogers nearly gets clipped. He slid away from it. That is ball 1. Jack Holman will be next. 6th AB, the top half of the order today. It's 1-2. Here's the pitch to Will Rogers. Rogers fouls into the first base dugout. Ball and 2 strikes. And when you look at this game with the catcher going out to have a word on the hill with his pitcher Gonzalez, Santa Barbara will play their final 2 games tomorrow at home of the regular season slate. And they'll be off to Wichita to play in the NBC. For Santa Barbara, they dropped game to the SLO Blues yesterday, testing their resolve here late. Gave up 3 runs in the bottom of the 8th. Under the gun here to execute with their bats, top of the 9th, trailing by 2. Tying run at the plate. The 0-2 pitch, and Rogers reaches for it. It's a fly ball in the right field. Hickson ball with relative ease makes the squeeze. There is the 2nd out. Will Rogers retired, and the final hope for Santa Barbara be the soon-to-be UC Santa Barbara Gaucho, Jack Holman. Holman today, first 2 times he worked a walk, intentionally walked, but is K'd. The last 3 times he has stood in. Bats from the left side. In the final hope tonight for the Santa Barbara Foresters. The tying run at the plate. Bollinger remains at first base. Infield playing back. There goes Jack. The first pitch fouled off over the first base dugout. Defensive indifference on the runner. No one holding on to him. And indifference to allow Bollinger to get to second. They're going to send him back to first base. So Bollinger at first base, but the game is at the plate in the form of Jack Holman with 2 outs. Here's the 0-1. Holman, swing and a miss. Now Bollinger to second base on the indifference, but Holman and Santa Barbara down to their final strike. It was the breaking ball from Matthew Gonzalez. Can Holman just put something in play? Hand off the baton to TJ Pompey. Down to their final strike. There's the 0-2 pitch. Holman lifts it into center field. Shallow center field. Royal can't get there. It falls. Bollinger will come around to score, and Santa Barbara has life in the 9th. Jack Holman comes up clutch, brings home Jack Bollinger to make it a 1-run game, 7-8 now our score, and the tying run now at first base. Drew Markle's going to come in to pinch run for Jack Holman. What a time to pick up your first hit of the 9th. RBI single in the shallow center field for Jack Holman. Enter Drew Markle at first to run. Santa Barbara have the tying run now at first with 2 outs. Here is TJ Pompey. He has 2 RBIs on a single in the 3rd. Can Santa Barbara pull something out of the hat? Trailing by a run, Drew Markle now at first base with 2 outs. Here is TJ bats from the right side. First pitch, Pompey swinging away on the fastball, fans it, strike 1. Santa Barbara attempting to tie up the season series against their rival, regain the top spot, CCL South. 2 gone. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Pompey quickly down 0-2, chasing the slider. And once again, Santa Barbara down to their final strike. Drew Markle, fantastic runner at first, representing the tying run. Go-ahead run now at the plate for the Sturs. Sturs down to their final strike. Here is the 0-2 pitch. Pompey will strike out. That is the ball game. The final score, 8-7. The SLO Blues take it, and back-to-back nights, the SLO Blues down the Santa Barbara Foresters. Santa Barbara Foresters gave up some late runs, 3 in the 8th. They mustered 1 run in the 9th, had the tying run on base. Clutch hits from Bollinger and Jack Holman, but come up 1 run short. What a ball game and what a couple days between Santa Barbara and SLO. These ball games have been. Santa Barbara, for the 2nd time this season, have dropped back-to-back games to the SLO Blues, and actually the SLO Blues have won the last 4 games against the Santa Barbara Foresters. Santa Barbara will look to regroup as they return home tomorrow for their final 2 games of the regular season. They're going to be playing San Diego Sunrays tomorrow, 4:30 local time. Then the Academy Barons to round out the regular season slate on Sunday. So be sure to come on out and support the Sturs for their final 2 home games of the regular season. Did not have it quite enough tonight. Come up 1 run short, had the tying run at first. And once again, the final score, 8-7. The SLO Blues take it. And on the season, the SLO Blues won 5 out of the 8 matchups against the Santa Barbara Foresters. The SLO Blues this season got the best of the Santa Barbara Foresters. What a season series it was against these 2 teams. We'll have to wait and see what next year has in store between the Blues and the Sturs. Well, for all the crew behind the scenes, I am Hunter Shoemaker saying so long from San Luis Obispo. SLO take it 8-7 over the Sturs, and we'll see you back in action tomorrow when Santa Barbara returns home to take on the San Diego Sunrays. 4:30 first pitch at Santa Barbara High School. We'll see you then.